Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening, and welcome on in. Special shout out, of course, to Pose to being the first to get here and claim the best seat in the house. But, of course, everyone, special shout outs to all of you tonight. To Post, to Yomi, of course, to Zordon, thank you so much for the resubscribe. 9 heckin' months. Oh my gosh. Where has the time gone? To D-Chan, to 19, to Wyatt, to Meet That, everyone, welcome in. I hope you're having a wonderful evening, and it's lovely to be back. It's lovely to see all of you. I hope you've all been doing very, very well, and hope you've been taking care of yourself. And Post, oh my gosh, Post, thank you. Thank you so much for starting the hype train. Let's go. What a wonderful thing to come back to. Wait, 10 months? Oh my gosh, it's been 10 months? Oh my goodness. Wow, where has the time gone? Wow, shout outs to the passage of linear time, I suppose, for just surprising me like that. I hope you guys are all doing very, very well, though. It's lovely to see you all here. Thank you all for showing up tonight. I know that we've been away for a while, for good reason, of course, but it's lovely to see you all here. Got a head cold, already found you. Oh no, Zordon! Well, I hope that it's not too debilitating for you, at least, and hopefully we can give you some comfort, at least, and hopefully it's nothing too bad to get over. Time is an illusion. True, actually, very true. As the wonderful Douglas Adams wrote in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, time is an illusion. Lunchtime, doubly so. Although, personally, that's actually not too far gone for me, because I don't normally experience lunch. I normally sleep through it and just go straight to dinner. But no, jokes on the other side. I hope you guys are all doing very well, and as I said, thank you guys for all showing up tonight. It's gonna be weird. I've got to get myself back into schedule, and honestly, that has been a struggle for me. Did you guys know? I don't know if you guys were aware of this. Something that I've become aware of over the past couple of weeks. Did you guys know there's like a 12 p.m.? Like, apparently there's a 12 o'clock that happens in the afternoon, apparently? I'm only finding out about this now. I thought it was something that only happened in Japan, but apparently it exists in England as well. Cuddleo, Mr. Play, hello, welcome in. That's called lunchtime. How dare you try to understand normal human hours. I cannot make heads or tails of it. But since I got back, I have somehow, unfortunately, fallen into normal human hours, and I don't like it. It's the worst thing ever for me. I'm waking up at like 12 o'clock and I'm like, excellent, I'm awake. Now what do I do? Everyone that I spend time with is asleep still. So I've just been kind of, I've actually been using it to catch up on some anime. One of the things that I found out when we went to Japan is I'm actually like really out of touch of anime. Like, I can't remember the last anime I actually sit and watched through in its entirety. And so I actually made that a bit of a promise to myself. That when I got back, I'm like, okay, I clearly am very out of touch with my anime, so I very much need to fix this. So the first thing I did when I got back was fire up the Crunchyroll subscription. And that's an anime system. That's definitely, Yomi, definitely. I've been definitely catching up. Tells ladies, hello, welcome. Such a mood. I haven't been hooked on an anime in quite a while. So the funny thing for me is that once I started watching it, I actually binged like 3 seasons of anime since I got back. Partially because of the whole, scheduling thing. Like, I've been woken up and then like, well, nothing else to be doing. Guess I'll watch some anime. Sorry, pardon me a second. One sec. Headphone wire has got caught in the chair wheel again. Hold up. Oh gosh. Oh no, that's sorry. Pardon me. There we go. That's it. There we go. Okay, we fixed it. We're good. Everything's fine. Gentlemen, hello. Welcome. You're doing well. Okay, so what was I talking about? Anime, right. Since I got back, I have actually kind of binged a few animes. I have rewatched the entirety of Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. Hilarious show. It's very lowbrow, like extremely lowbrow. Like, if you don't find things like, poops and farts funny, you're not going to have a good time with it. However, if you are someone for whom the idea of just saying things like booby bum bum is like the funniest thing in the world to you, you'd have a great time with it. This is how you discover that despite the fact that I am, of course, the perfectly normal robot maid, and I do, of course, carry myself with the perfect amount of decorum, I actually have the humour of a 12-year-old. So I watched all of that. I've watched, I finished Keijo yesterday. Keijo is a really funny anime. It's a sport anime about this fictional sport called Keijo, which is basically sumo wrestling. Except it's sumo wrestling on a floating island in the middle of a pool. It's sumo wrestling on a floating island in the middle of a pool, but the only parts of your body you're allowed to make contact with are your boobs and your butt. It sounds like it's super fan servicey, like it sounds like it's going to be like the most legitimate thing you've ever heard. And the funny thing is, it's really not, because they play it completely straight. Like, it's just a regular sports anime, except the sport is the dumbest thing you've ever heard about, and it's really funny, like genuinely really funny. It's a turn your brain off kind of anime, but it's a good time. And the third one that I've started watching is I started watching Uma Musume, the horse girl anime. When we were in Japan, we saw like a lot of it. We saw it everywhere. We went to one arcade where an entire floor of their crane games were all dedicated to Uma Musume, the horse girl anime. And I was like, I know nothing about this show, except for one thing. I know two characters from the show, one that I'm a big fan of and Yomi's a big fan of, and actually, well, Yomi's a big fan of both of these, actually. And that's all I know. So I'm like, you know what? I want to watch more anime. I'm going to watch this when I get home. And the funny thing is, the really funny part is, when I got home and started watching it, literally the day that I got my Crunchyroll subscription sorted out, they announced that the gacha game is actually going to be localized in English. If that is not a sign from above, I do not know what is. Is that the DOA Extreme Sports mini game with the butt bumping? It kind of is, Zoro. It really kind of is. Genuinely, it's a dumb anime, but it's worth watching. Been watching Mr. Tanagawa, Middle Management Blue recently. Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with that one, but there's a lot of anime I am not familiar with, so I definitely need to get on top of that. One thing I have to ask, did you play Mahjong? We didn't play Mahjong. I actually have no idea of the rules of Mahjong. And Australos! Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the sub for Yomi! Just a team to have. Oh, right! Right! Of course, I completely forgot what day it was because it's not a thing we celebrate over here. So of course, to all of my guests in America, happy Independence Day. Congratulations on the day that you were able to escape the curse of being technically owned by the British. Monster Musume is incredible, despite there being a happy Centauria is best girl. Yes, I have seen Monster Musume and I fully agree. For me, for Monster Musume, my favourite one was Zombina. She was my favourite, and it's actually quite funny because she's not actually really my type normally. Nothing against like the kind of more hot-headed tomboy types. They're just not really what I typically find myself drawn towards, but something about her overall vibe I just really enjoyed. Happy toss of tea day, true. You can throw away as much tea as you like. You will hear no complaints about me. I do not like tea. That's actually not entirely fair. I can take or leave a cup of tea. I don't really drink hot drinks very often. I guess like if it's really cold, I might have a cup of hot chocolate or something, but you can get rid of as much tea as you like. I won't complain. But yeah, so when it comes to like animes, I'm trying to get better with it. I've got a few on my watch list that I want to get through as well. I want to watch Girls Frontline because I've seen I like the designs of Girls Frontline. Did not vibe with the gameplay at all, so I want to see more of the characters. And Arknights, same deal. I did not vibe with the gameplay of Arknights at all, but I really like the designs. Like the designs are 100% my thing. But again, I just couldn't get on with the gameplay, so I'm happy that there's an anime that I can watch for that. And there is a certain other anime. There is an anime that is coming out soon that I am also a little bit excited about. Yomi knows what one I'm talking about. Maybe we'll elaborate on that later. We don't need to go into detail about it right now. It's probably not relevant. It's probably not an important factor, right? I think I know. You definitely know. Yomi, it's you. You're my best friend. You definitely know. In fact, I think you're actually the reason why I found out it was being an anime in the first place. As you get lots of positive vibes. Good. I am looking forward to it. I am definitely looking forward to it. Because you have to ask, how much Japanese did you actually need? So that's a good point, actually. If you want to go to Japan, I'll say this, at least where we went to Tokyo, and I speak basically no Japanese at all. I did like 6 months of Duolingo. I probably speak less Japanese than my 2-year-old neighbor speaks English. We didn't need it at all. Now, we were in like Tokyo, so we were like in the middle of all the touristy bits, of course. So everything there was basically bilingual, all the train signs and everything were bilingual, but it was really easy to get about, actually. Am I time to say it? You want to know? I'll say it if we can get one more gift sub. There we go. Okay. You want to get into some of the secrets of Helm-Chan's search history. There you go. One more sub and maybe we'll spill the beans. Tokyo, a lot of people speak English because of how many foreigners come but speak any Japanese and they go brr. Yeah. So I didn't have any real reason to speak Japanese, actually, funny enough, because of that. In fact, there was one occasion where, okay, I've said this before. Say it again. Stratos, okay. All right, Stratos, okay. You got it. Fair is fair. All right. Well, here we go. Here is where Helm starts to shatter your perfect image of her. Here's where Helm starts to let loose the say-so-ness just a little bit. Hold on, let's find an image to share with this. So the anime that I'm very excited about that's coming out soon, I believe it's this season. I think it comes out. I think it's this season. It's an anime that I believe I only found out about because of Yomi telling me about it. But the reason why Yomi told me about it was because I happen to have the entire manga. So, okay, let's see if this works. So the anime I'm excited for is... Does this work? Please work. Did not work. Okay, hold on. I'm still getting the hang of like dragging images into the whatchamacallit, VTube Studio. Oh, it's thinking? No, it's not thinking. How does this work? Silly thing. Hold on. We're getting there. I can't just tell you. I've got to do the dramatic reveal. Otherwise, like, what's the build up? Yeah. There we go. The anime I'm looking forward to is this one, which I believe the Japanese title is something along the lines of Elf-san Can't Diet. But the English localization for it is Plus Size Elf. I mean, look, I'm allowed to have a type 2, okay? I mean, look, I'm just saying, I have search history. That's all I'm saying, okay? That's all I'm saying. I have a search history. I may have a certain arrangement with a friend of mine to incinerate the hard drives should anything happen to me. That's all I'm saying. But yes, I am very much looking forward to this. I mean, I maybe largely say so, but well, what goes on in my room but when the stream ends is my own business. The dog girl and Medusa girl are the best. I love the dog girl, and I love the Cyclops girl. Those are my favorites. The bangs over the eyes is a very, very good look. Very good look. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to when this comes out. Yeah, I have no follow-ups. Just yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There we go. I can't remember what we were talking about before we got derailed by thick women. What were we talking about before then? Right, Japan and how little Japanese we needed. Right, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, I think we were kind of done with that point, but basically, yeah, as far as we were going with Japan, we didn't really need to speak Japanese, and the one time when I did, it was kind of awkward, actually. Okay, so, I've mentioned this before, I have social anxiety. Yay! It's something that I've always low-key struggled with it, but it's kind of only in the past couple of years or so I sort of kind of accepted it, I guess. Like, it's not that I was in denial about it. It was more just that I never really acknowledged it. I didn't think of I had social anxiety. I thought, oh, I'm just a bit shy, that's all. I never really thought about it in terms of that, but in hindsight, I'm like, no, yeah, hell, the writing's been on the walls for a very long time. You just do. So, because of that, I wasn't going around, like, speaking Japanese to every Japanese person I found, obviously, like, because I didn't want to embarrass myself. I didn't want to make things awkward. The one time I did, we were at, so one of the places we went, which we'll go into, like, the full itinerary, in a bit. Like, I've got everything we've done written down, and I've got, the breakdown of what we did. But one of the things we did do is we went to the Final Fantasy XIV Eorzea Cafe. And it was a great time. If you're ever in Akihabara for whatever reason, and you like FF14, I would strongly recommend it. The food was very well priced, very tasty. However, there was a funny thing that happened near the end of it, which was one of the staff members came over to us. Now, they obviously clocked us from a mile away. I mean, you've got a robot and two people that are clearly from, clearly Caucasian. And we obviously couldn't stand out more as foreigners if we tried. And the guy came over and he was just like, oh, have you been here before? Where are you staying? Like, he was being very friendly. And at the end of it, he was like, oh, yeah, if you've had a good time, if you wouldn't mind leaving a sort of review. And like, oh, yeah, of course, no problem at all. So the one time I tried my flat to speak Japanese, he comes over and he's like, oh, so where are you guys from? And I was like, I remember this one from Duolingo. I remember this lesson. In Japanese, the United Kingdom is Igirisu. So I said that at the exact same time my friends were saying England. So we kind of talked over each other and it kind of made things unclear. And then the guy kind of looked at me and said, oh, you speak a Japanese? Like, shotso, little bit. It was, don't get me wrong, it wasn't actually as awkward as I'm imagining it being. But because of social anxiety, I felt very awkward at the time. I felt like, why did I do that? I should have just said England. He would have understood me. He clearly speaks English perfectly. Cut into a ball and die. Oh! That reminds me. Speaking of social anxiety, there's a springboard. I forgot there was one other anime I had binged as well. When we were out in Japan, I saw, and in fact I actually came home with, a Bochi, as in from Bochi the Rock. I've never seen this series, but I remember it was like everywhere for a while, but I didn't really have a subscription or I wasn't watching anime at that time. I've binged that entire series. Very recommended. It's a lot of fun. And oh my god, she is literally me for real. Which, I don't just mean that in the sense of like, oh haha guys, I'm so quirky. No, like, unironically, there are some moments in Bochi when I'm watching, I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, no, I have been here. I get it. I feel sorry for you. I get it. I've been there. But no, it wasn't anywhere near as awkward as I'm imagining it is. That's the thing, right? In my head, everything I do that's wrong is far more awkward and far more cringe and far more memorable than it actually is. That's part of where my problem comes from. I have a very good memory for things that I would really rather forget. Like, I'll just be like, okay, it's time to power down for the night, go, plug myself in for the night, and then suddenly my hard drive is like, hey, do you remember that time when you accidentally had a slip of the tongue while you were out with your friends when they were doing LARPing, and that guy just shouted at you in front of everyone over something that was basically just you having a fumble tongue moment? Yeah, I do. Kind of would rather you didn't remind me of that. Here we are. You all couldn't cringe as well. Oh yeah, me, I love you. You're the best. You're the best friend. Love you. So, I've got some photos, but I've got a little... I was trying to work out how best to share them with you guys, because, I mean, I want to get the chat on screen, but if I put them in the scene, I think I'll be a bit in the way, potentially. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to go over to our, well, not our game screen, our art screen. They're basically the exact same, but one is slightly larger. But this way it will let me be able to pull the photos in and move them around a lot more freely, I think. So I think we're going to go for that. So, well, actually, before we even go with that, I can tell you a little bit of the story of it, because I have got photos from us, going there. Because nothing is ever straightforward for Helm-Chan. If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. Because of course it will. On the way there, so I'm going to set the scene for you all. Before we left, I'm on my usual schedule, which means I've powered up around 4 p.m. in the afternoon. I've stayed up all night, and then we get to the station to go to the airport at around about, I think about 8:30, something like that. So suffice it to say, by this point, I am not like mega tired, but like I could definitely go to sleep right now. Like if I was at home, I could easily start powering down. We get on the train, and thankfully where we are, it's actually a very easy transport. The train literally takes us to the airport. No need to change stations or anything like that. We can just do a straight shot there. It's great. However, we get halfway through the train ride, and my friend who's travelling up with me looks at his phone and he goes, "That's a problem." And I say, "What's the problem?" There's a problem further up the track. Now, we don't know if it's going to affect us yet, but we're like, if this affects us when we're between stations, we're going to be in trouble. So we have to bail on our plans, get off the train, hop on another train, which, by the way, costs us like another £20 because it's this super express train directly to the airport. So already we're off to a great start because we've not even left the country yet, and we've already had to add another £20 to the trip for this, fast train just to dodge the trouble on the other one. Airport? Actually, okay, I almost forgot the airport. Okay. I brought 2 cases with me. So I've been to Japan before. I've mentioned this before. About 5 years ago, we went to Japan. And we had a great time, but we only went there for a week. Now, this time I came prepared. My philosophy on the way out there was, I am going to bring more money than I think I can spend. And I'm going to have more cases than I think I can fill. I would much rather be in the situation of come home with a lot of yen that I'll then have to, exchange back into pounds, and half-empty suitcases that I don't really need to be lugging, than to be out in Japan, see something I really want, but say to myself, I can't buy that, I haven't got room in my suitcase, or I'd love to buy that, but I haven't got enough money left. So that was the plan. So we're getting the cases, and we're going through the check-in. Now, I haven't been to the airport in 5 years, and before that, I think it was probably another 5 years on top of that. So I'm not very familiar with the airport process. But at least at the airport we're at, they have a process where you can check in yourself. You don't need any staff to help you, including your bag. You put your bag on the conveyor belt, it prints off a label, you attach the label to your bag, and down it goes. Sounds easy enough, right? It sounds absolutely idiot-proof. It sounds like, how is there any way you could possibly mess this up? Guess who found a way to mess this up? Yeah, it was me. It was me. So, okay. You know what, actually, I'm going to go over to our art. So I'm going to go over to our screen, actually, because I need to draw this for you. I need to give you a visual aid to explain what went wrong. So please keep your arms, legs, and other body parts clear of the closing doors, and I'll meet you there in just a moment. Alrighty then. Well, now we're here. Actually, let's I have got some FF14 music for the background, just to keep us a bit more audio going on. Let's scoot over a little bit. So I want you to imagine, right? Like, oh wow, sorry. I'm just noticing my monitor is very dirty. I need to clean this later. So here's the case, right? Now, bear in mind, like, I'm just drawing this with a mouse in like a few seconds. So here's the case. Straightforward enough, right? Now, I've got the handle for the case is up like this. And they give you a label. Now the label, you're meant to fold it over. I don't know how it works. It might actually be literal sorcery for all I know. But the label sticks to itself without adhesive. I'm guessing like magnetism or something. I don't really know. But the idea is you've got the label here, right? You fold it over, and by the end of it, it kind of like makes this like a loop kind of thing, right? So like this part here is like attached to each other. So the idea is you're meant to attach it around your case like this, you know. Again, pardon that this the crummy sketch, but like you attach it around there so they know which bag is yours. That's fine. That makes sense. Now the other thing to note is that let's move this down a little bit actually, just drag this a little bit further down. The other thing is, as it goes on the conveyor belt, there is a height checker because, well, you've got a restriction on how big you're allowed your case to be. So you've got like this, essentially like this gate that it has to pass through. If it's too wide or it's too tall, then it won't, you know, it won't go through the gate. You can't, you know, I don't know if you can't bring the bag or if you have to pay more for it. I don't know. Suffice to say, my bag was well within the size of this, right? There was no problem in that regard. However, the first case goes through. Put my label on it, no problem. It is the second case where I managed to mess it up. Because I put the label on, and the label sticks upright. Right? The label is sticking upright, and I'm thinking to myself, surely, as it goes down the conveyor belt, the label will simply fall over to the side, right? It will just flop down naturally. Gravity will take hold. No, it did not. That is not what happened. Instead, the label hit the top of this gate and was like, your bag is too big. Please call a member of staff. And I'm now like looking around awkwardly, trying to find a member of staff. Social anxiety, by the way. And I eventually, it ends up not being a big deal at all. Eventually, I find over a member of staff. It's all fine. But I'm just like, wow, we are really off to a fantastic start with this trip, aren't we? Thankfully, from there, everything goes smooth. We go through the airport, we get onto the plane, everything's fine. And the plane was like pretty nice. We were in the budget seats, admittedly, which that's one of the few things I might do differently if we do this trip again. Because, so let's do another visual aid moment here, shall we? So, as we're coming in through the plane, right? You know, you're coming through the plane, you've got like the two rows here. You know, your two walkways. Now, the plane we were in was divided into 3 sections, right? And these sections could not be more different, right? So, in this section, the front section, I want to say this was business class or something. I don't know if it was business class. What I do know is we did look into it afterwards, and these seats were like $5,000 each. So there was no way we were ever going to be buying these seats, but man, they were fancy. Like they were like these little pods that were like this. Were like half of them are facing one way, half of them are facing the other way. I felt like I was too poor just to be walking past these things. So first we had that. Then we moved into the second section, and this is where you get like, I think they call this like the plus section, which is just like regular seats, but they've got a bit more room than usual, you know? They've got like wider armrests. They're just a bit nicer. And then you had us, the schmucks stuck in the coach. And now here's the thing. It was fine. Like, it wasn't an unpleasant experience. The ride was fine. The airplane was fine. But I think if I remember correctly, the difference between this bit and this bit was not significant. Like, it was maybe like a couple £100 more. If we did it again, I might have sprung for that, because by the end of it, my legs were extremely seized up. Not really a lot of ways you can do maintenance when you're on an airplane. Thankfully, we did have good amenities, at least. What do I call it? the in-flight entertainment was very good. I actually watched the Mario Bros. Movie on the way out and Detective Pikachu on the way back. There was like a lot of stuff on there, but most of what I was watching on the plane was I downloaded a bunch of stuff from YouTube and was just binging that. Anyways, so 14 hours, by the way, it was our flight. So we had a direct flight. Like, you know, we started in the UK, flew to Japan, literally one long flight, 14 hours. Now, I'd like to remind you that at this point, at the point we boarded the plane, I had been going for approximately 20 hours, I think it was. I'd been awake since between the previous day and takeoff. I don't know how much recharging I got on the plane. It was not much. I can't sleep very well in chairs. I never have been able to. I am someone for whom once I am powered down, I am fine, but getting a comfortable position to power down, I always find extremely hard. So, like, if I'm being conservative, I'd say maybe I got 4 hours on the plane. So if we say I'd been going for 20 hours, the flight was 14, and then we'll knock off 4, like, by the time I'd landed, I've effectively been going for 30 hours, more or less. I know that's not exactly how it works, but let's go with that for the sake of argument. So we land, and I think actually here's where we got our first picture. I've got a lot of photos here. Many of these photos I did not take myself because my camera on my phone is absolute garbage. One of my friends has a much better phone, much better camera. So he took a lot of the photos, some of them online, but here's our first picture. Please import credit. Oh, that is large. But, hold on. There we go. It was our first thing we saw. When you land in the airport, I'm like, you know what? We're going to take a picture of it. It's the first thing we see landing in Tokyo. So we go through customs, we go through all of that nonsense. I say nonsense, you know, I don't begrudge doing it. It makes, you know, it's all important and necessary and all that. We get to the hotel. We're early. By the time we got to the hotel, that was like another hour or 2, I'd say. So let's now say that's 32 hours. We get to the hotel, we're too early for check-in. We could check in early, but there's an additional fee for that. So we're like, that's fine. We'll just you know, mull around for a while. Hey-oh! Thank you for the sub! If there was a normal subscriber, it was me. Hey-oh! Welcome in here. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the 10 months. Really appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Or as they say in Japan, yokoso! So we're at the hotel, or we went to the hotel, and we're like, we can mill around for a while. We went to the same hotel we went to last time, so we kind of know the local area a little bit. So we go and get some food, and we get some... Okay. I need you guys to promise me you're not going to judge me for what I'm about to say. I am a fussy eater. I am a very fussy eater. That being said, I am very easy to please, but I'm very fussy. As long as I can get a burger or some chicken, I'm happy. But I don't eat a lot of other things. I don't eat a lot of things that are like typically good for you, I guess, is the way I would put it. We used to joke when I was an earlier version of myself that we'd go to a place, order, say, a burger, quote unquote, nothing healthy on it, please. So I'm gonna warn you guys in advance that everything we ate in Japan is extremely unexciting. Like, we did not eat anything fancy, we did not eat anything too outlandish. Me and one of my other friends in particular, we're fussy eaters, we knew this going out there. I just want to preface this so you guys all know. Because this all culminates with the first day we are eating Burger King. So, Kasky, thank you for the sub! Help describe to Uncle Roger's vegetables taste like sour punch. I see. Yes, exactly. The way I see it, I eat the things I like eating, I don't eat the things I don't like eating. Simple as. But thank you so much, 9 heckin' months, let's go. Thank you so much. So, we're in Burger King, and I'm not gonna lie, I am running on fumes at this point. I think when all said and done, I calculated that I was probably on about 32 hours sleep. Well, actually, in total, it was about 36 hours minus about 4 hours of napping on the plane. So I was absolutely exhausted. I'm not going to lie, I actually genuinely think I had like a very mild hallucination in the Burger King because I was just so exhausted. Blade Runner, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome. Have a good evening. So, okay, how was the food? Okay, so I'm gonna rip the band-aid off here. Japan is destroying us in the fast food market. Oh my gosh, they are destroying us. Like, okay, everything there was cheaper, but here's the thing. I'm not naive, I'm not stupid. We got to benefit tremendously from the exchange rates. Because the pound is very strong against the yen at the moment, everything out there was extremely cheap for our from our perspective, you know. But everything there was like at least as good, if not better. I would say the Burger King was probably the one that was the closest to being the same. There was nothing about it that was significantly different or unusual, like in terms of the taste or anything. Burger King was like very standard. The McDonald's, also very similar. However, the McDonald's had like I rate it as like slightly better or slightly different rather, because like they had different things there that we just don't have over here. And again, we're not talking super exciting things because we're talking about me, but we're talking things like when you're ordering the burger on the touch screen, right? You know when you're on the menu and it'll be like, oh, would you like to add things or remove things? There was an additional item on the remove things, and it was just called grill seasoning. I had no idea what it was, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not very adventurous. Let's push the boat out a bit. Let's find out what this mysterious grill seasoning is. I have no idea what it was. It tasted good. Like, I didn't dislike it. It was a very different flavor. I want to say maybe there was like a hint of garlic to it, but I'm not sure about that. I genuinely don't know. But Burger King was solid. However, the one... Actually, no, sorry. I'm going to skip one. KFC. We'd done KFC before out there. KFC was very good. Funnily enough, the KFC was like the closest we had to a bad one. The first day we went to Akihabara, we went to KFC, and my chips were kind of odd. They weren't like cold, but they were like, you know, they weren't the freshest batch. They were perfectly edible, but it was the closest we came that entire trip to a bad experience in one of the fast food places. However, I'm just trying to find it because, sorry, I have a lot of pictures here and I'm kind of trying to squint at these thumbnails to try and work out which one I'm looking for here. Bear with me. So there's like extra large icons, that will help. Pika, hello, welcome. Good evening. Lovely to see you. We're just talking about the trip. I'm just trying to find this one picture. Where is it? Did we take it later? Oh, we did take it later. That's why. Where is it? Here it is. So, the Colonel is alive and well in Japan. And not only is he alive and well, here's a Pictomancer. They had a crossover going on with Final Fantasy XIV to promote the new expansion Dawn Trail. And so, for the occasion, they dressed the Colonel up as a Pictomancer. We didn't realise at first what was going on with it. It wasn't until we like passed by him, but it was great. If you compare Japanese KFC from Kentucky KFC, I mean, compared to English one, it was definitely better. Buddy Person, hello! Went to Japan back in October. Where did you spend most of your time? Here, actually, Akihabara. So we were very close to Akihabara. We were about a 5-minute walk to the station, and we were from the station 3 stops away from Akihabara. So we could like get to Akihabara in a matter of like 15 minutes. So a lot of the days when we had just a bit of time afterwards, we're just like, let's just go to Akihabara for a bit. Why not? So, continuing the fast food, however, the one, in my opinion, that was the hands-down winner of Japan is absolutely beating our ass when it comes to fast food was Wendy's. Now, This might just look like regular old Wendy's to you, taken through a very blurry phone camera, because my phone, again, is garbage. But what I need to tell you about is the price of this, right? Again, obviously conversion rates are in our favor. Here in England, so this is just literally just large baconator meal, you know. You get large drink, large fries, double baconator. Simple enough. In England, that would cost you, I think, about £12, something like that. In Japan, we get all of this, plus this amazing shaved ice dessert, and it was £10 converted. And it was all good. We did not have a single instance where we went to Wendy's where it was cold, where it was unpleasant. I actually am, I'm a bit of a Wendy's girl. If I'm out somewhere, Wendy's is my fast food of choice. I just generally think it's the best one, even if it's a slightly more pricey one. But they are destroying us. Like, this was so good. And the dessert, the shaved ice. This is shaved ice with like, I actually don't know what flavor the syrup was. I think it was just called Blue Hawaii. It had like a sort of tropical kind of taste to it. Maybe a hint of pineapple, maybe a bit of mango. But what you can't tell from this picture is there's soft serve ice cream in the bottom here as well. It was really good. Definitely one of those moments of, this is why we can't have nice things, however, because the bowl it's in here, right? This bowl, it's like ceramic. You know, it's like a china bowl. There is no way in any reality we can be allowed this in the UK. These bowls would be broken, these bowls would be stolen, these bowls would be hurled at people. There are so many things in Japan that were just nice things where I'm just sitting there like, this is incredible. There is no way in hell we could ever be allowed this back home, and that is depressing. Edward, hello, welcome. Hope you're having a good evening. Welcome in, love to see you. Blue Hawaii is in fact a flavouring, yes. Yeah, I don't know what the flavour was. It was just nice. I have a policy when it comes to blue. If I see a blue flavour on the menu, I am trying it. It doesn't matter what it is, I will be trying it. And I'm glad I did, because I actually had this twice, because this was really good. So, let's rewind to where we were. We went to the hotel. We eventually get back to the hotel after, like, go to Burger King, rather, where, again, I'm pretty sure I had a mild hallucination. We go there and we pass out. That was the first day. Like, we landed on technically the... wait, hold on. I've lost track of it again. We landed on the Tuesday? Hold on. I need to think this through. We took off at like noon on the Monday. 14-hour flight, so that was effectively 2 a.m. on the Monday. But then, on the Tuesday rather. And then Japan is another 8 hours ahead of us, so we landed on the Tuesday. So the Tuesday was a complete write-off. Like, literally, the Tuesday was just us getting there, getting to the hotel, and then passing out. The hotel for its time was, for what it was, great hotel. We'd been there before. Obviously, if it was bad, we wouldn't have gone back there again. But like, I cannot fault the hotel itself. Very comfortable. And as someone who's in England, the air conditioning was very much appreciated. We do not have air conditioning over here very often. Most buildings here do not have it. It was very nice to be in a country where that was not the case. So for Tuesday, we already knew what our plan was. We had like a few locations we wanted to do, but we didn't necessarily have an order for them. We just knew, you know, we want to go here at some point. We want to look at this at some point. Those were plans, but we didn't have a specific order for when we wanted to do them. However, there was one thing we knew we were going to do, which was Tuesday was going to be walk around Akihabara. And when I say walk around Akihabara, I mean all of it. We saw like so much cool stuff, and by the end of it, my legs were killing me. But I'll just say this. if you ever worried that you're like too talented, if you're ever concerned that you are too good, specifically when it comes to building Gunpla, go to Akihabara. Like, look at this. This was just in like, in one of the shops, they had just this display case of just cool things that people had built that they were just displaying in the shops. Look at this thing. I don't even like Zaku's that much, but oh my gosh, this is incredible. I don't even know what's going on with this giant hand down here, but it just looks cool as hell. Another one that we saw, one of my friends, I used to be very big into Fate Grand Order. The two friends I went with still both are. This kit here, this is a garage kit, I believe. This Morgan, the hair on this, like, it's beautiful. She's not even one of my favorite characters, but man, I could feel myself developing depression in real time going around Akihabara, just because I was just seeing so many kits from so many talented builders and just like, wow, this is amazing. Everything I built back home looks like garbage compared to this. But it was really incredible to see the amount of talent there. For me though, Akihabara, we knew we were going to be doing Akihabara multiple times. This was not planned, but we knew it was going to happen. So for me, Akihabara was mostly, on day one, was mostly about scouting. It was mostly an idea of, let's look around and see what we can find in Akihabara. And see what, because I have the money. I was prepared to spend a lot of money. But I didn't want to blow it all early. I wanted to, my actual game plan was spend little to start with, and then near the end of the holiday, blow everything. That was the plan. Mr. Shadow, hello, welcome in. Have a good evening. So that was the plan for it, right? A few cool things we did see. I took a few photos of a few things that were just cool stuff. Like, for example, back to Fate again here. I took a photo of this one for Yomi specifically, actually. This is a Jiangxi version of Shuten Doji. Yomi loves Shuten Doji, I believe, and also loves Jiangxi. So I'm like, yeah, Yomi would love seeing this. We also saw these, which, okay, this might not be immediately obvious what you're looking at here. But these are Yu-Gi-Oh figures. Specifically, you've got obviously Dark Magician Girl here, but these are the Charmers. You've got Win the Wind Charmer here, Heater the Fire Charmer, and Area the Water Charmer. There was an Alsa as well. We saw all four of these at some point in Japan. We also saw a lot, actually, surprisingly, a lot of the Sky Striker Ace Ray figures. Let's get it out of the way. Oh my god, yes, I love Ray. I would die for Sky Striker Ace Ray, etc., etc., etc. No, we did see the Earth Charmer. I didn't get a picture of her, but we did see her. I actually came very close to buying her. It didn't happen, but it was close. It was very, very close. Also, I just had to take a picture of these guys because, okay, they're axolotls and they're pogging. Look at this axolotl in the middle. He is pogging out of his mind. I literally just that was the only reason I took a picture of these guys. That was literally the only reason. Pogsalotl, exactly, Yomi. So, like I said, the first day for Akiba was largely a scouting trip. It was mostly a case of, let's look around, let's see what kind of things we can see what our options are. I have a few things I was trying to find. Like, I was trying to see if we could find the tactical Tridex. Spoiler alert, no we couldn't. They are sold out everywhere. And to be honest, I can't be surprised. They are such a good deal. Like, genuinely, I don't know why they would be in stock. The one thing that did surprise me, though, is I was hoping I could maybe find some nice playmats. There were sleeves everywhere. Like, we could find, like, all kinds of sleeves, and none of them, like, official, most part. In fact, without wanting to go into too many details, I actually found some Kisakil and Leela sleeves that I recognized from Danburu, if you know what I mean. I refuse to elaborate further. But I was surprised by how little we found in terms of playmats. The only ones I could find were like, again, non-Konami ones. That surprised me. But we had the side quest. The side quest was in full effect the entire holiday. And it began on the first real day. We went into every card shop we passed, and I gotta say, bless my friends for their patience, because they do not play Yu-Gi-Oh! They have no interest in it. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. One of them plays Master Duel, but neither of them have interest in physical Yu-Gi-Oh! Product. So bless them for their patience, because every shop we passed that had cards, we went in there. And we didn't find any of them. Didn't find anything we was after. I was hoping to find like a nice high rarity key skill, and of course we were hoping to find the boy. You know, we always have to look for the boy. However, just when all hope seemed lost, we were literally wrapping up for the day. We said, okay, we were in, I forget, I don't know what the buildings were called. We were in this one building that had like a lot of shops. It was like 7 floors high. And I said, okay, we'll finish this building, guys. It's getting quite late. And then we'll wrap it up for the night. And as we're finishing up the building, there's a card shop. And as we go into the card shop, tucked away in the corner, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. And not only did we get him, we got 2 of him! We got the boy! So, the 3 here indicates the quality. I'm not gonna lie, so there's 2 copies here, but I bought both these copies. 300 yen a piece, by the way, that's like £1.50. Easy purchase, easiest purchase of my life. So we got 2 copies of the boy here. They're not the greatest quality, but you know what? Considering the history of this card, I am more than happy with the quality. Because, did you know? Frog the Jam trivia time. Many of you have probably heard the story of the Tokyo Dome riots. In the OCG, the Japanese version of Yu-Gi-Oh!, the Exodius head was released at an event in the Tokyo Dome. It was the first time it was ever released as part of like this promotion. At the Tokyo Dome, they were holding a tournament. You could buy this special premium pack of cards that had a chance to contain Exodius head. This is also the first printing of Frog the Jam. Frog the Jam was in that exact same pack. Now, you may have heard the full story about this, how it was absolutely packed. People were crowding in there. There was not enough supply for the demand. And literally there were riots by the end of it. There is a non-0% chance that someone may have gotten injured in their pursuit to open a pack containing these exact Frog the Jams. Makes you think, doesn't it? They're also, they are ultras, by the way. It's not very clear in the picture, but these are hollows as well. Fun fact about Frog the Jam, in the OCG, Frog the Jam has had 3 printings. One of them in the Tokyo Dome Premium Pack. One of them from this year, which was actually a kind of modern reprinting of that same pack with some new cards in it. And in a Japanese tournament pack that was done as like, you know, the OTS packs, if you like. Of these packs, only one of them is a common printing. Meaning Frog the Jam has had fewer common printings in Japan than he has hollow printings. If that does not make him a king among toads, I do not know what does. And I don't know what's his original name in Japanese, Frog the Jam or Slime Toad. So his name in Japanese is, and I'm gonna butcher this name because I don't speak Japanese, is Keru Slime, which literally translates to frog slime. Now, I do not understand enough about Japanese to know the difference, but what I can tell you is the word Keru is frog, but the frog archetype in Japanese is Geru. So I don't know what the difference between having a cat and a gas sound there is. Kairu slime, sorry, yes, Kairu slime. So yeah, I don't know what the difference between having a cat and a gas sound is with regards to kaeru as a word. But there you go. That's the difference between it in Japanese. That's why he can't be allowed a frog. It'd be a frog in English, because the frog octave in Japanese is gaeru, and frog jam in Japanese is kaeru. So that was our first day. Basically, we went to Akihabara. That was actually about the only thing I bought that day, I think. In fact, I think that was actually was that the only thing I bought that? I think that was, actually. I think literally day one, I only bought Frog the Jam. But that's because I was kind of zeroed in. The next day was our... Next day we were still kind of like low energy, because here's the thing, although we had recharged off of, you know, from our landing, Akihabara was tiring. We were walking around there for like probably about 7 or 8 hours. That's a lot of time to be walking, and it's not what I would call proper walking either. Have you ever been to like a comic convention or like any other crowded place where it's so crowded you can't take proper steps? You're taking those little awkward shuffle steps where you're not really lifting your legs and you're not really bending your knees, and by the end of the day your knees have just completely seized up. It was that kind of walking around, you know? So we were exhausted by the end of it. So we were like, okay, for the second day, let's do something, again, a bit more low energy, something a bit more relaxing that we can kind of just unwind with. And we went to, hold on, find the picture. We went to Yokohama. And we went here for basically just a little bit of a kind of like, hey, let's just have a look around, see what's here. Go to the waterfront, you know? And we saw a few nice things there. We saw, for example, this boat. I have no idea if the boat is in any way significant or meaningful. I don't know if it's a special boat or anything like that, but I figure it's probably got to be some kind of occasion, because there were people sitting there drawing it, so like, I don't know, it's a nice boat. What do you want from me? I don't know boats. But we also saw a few other funny things there, like, we only found one of these. Pokemon manhole covers. I believe there's like a whole bunch of these all over Tokyo, but this was the only one we found. And it was literally like basically where that last picture was, where the boat picture was. It was basically, in fact, is it even in the shop? It might be in the shop. Okay, it's not in the shop. But yeah, so this was the only one we actually found, but it's just really cool they have these. Just Pokemon on manhole covers. Sail train ship Nippon Maru Yokohama Port. Ah, yeah, okay, yeah, it was a museum, yeah. I don't know what the boat was about, but if it was like, if the boat was a particular one or anything, but yeah. So here's the thing, there's a lot of things that we definitely missed out on by virtue of not speaking any of the language. But it was still a great time. Was it just a promotion? I believe they're permanent fixtures, because I've seen, I forget who, a poker tuber of some description, did a video about them a while back, and there's like a whole bunch of them. I want to say they're over Tokyo in general, but I'm not sure. The other thing we did when we was there, we went to, I thought I had a better picture of this. Hold on, let me just check my photos real quickly. I guess we didn't. Oh, we didn't get a picture of the outside. That's weird. Okay, never mind. Well, I'll show you the one. Hold on. Sorry, I'm certain we had more pictures of this. Did they just not make it into the zip or something? Sorry about this, I should have really gotten my pictures organised ahead of time, but you know what? That would have been the smart thing to do, and we all know I'm not smart. Kashai, hello! Welcome, I don't know, good evening! Welcome in, lovely to see you! Have you been doing well? Oh, well, this is the only picture I have from it, apparently. We went to the Cup Noodle Museum. This was one of those things that was like, we didn't really, like, know about this. We did a little, we went online and just watched a video of, like, things to do while you're in Japan, you know. And this was one of the things that came up, and we're like, you know what? That sounds like a bit of a laugh. Let's go and do it. So we went to the Cup Noodle Museum, where it's like the history of the cup noodle, and honestly, like, it was like an hour or two, blah, blah, blah. It was like an hour or two in there. It was a fun little time. And the best thing is, you can make your own one. Literally, I did. Here we go. Wow, behold, the one of one. The Helm-Chan version cup noodles. Literally, you go in there, you buy the cup, you decorate it yourself, and then it's almost like being in a school cafeteria. They fill it up with whatever you want. So I had mine with curry flavor broth with double beef, cheese, and pork. And I'm not gonna lie, it was really good. I've never actually had cup noodles before because, as we established earlier, fussy eater. And while I know that I eat noodles, I don't like a lot of the things that you typically find in cup noodles. So being able to make my own one where we can just put in only things I like, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was really tasty. And we also took a few pictures. We went for a walk down to like this park, and this picture looks a lot more dingy than it is. I'm not gonna lie, but we just like sat by like the waterfront for a bit, just like kind of watching the world go by. It was really quiet, actually. I'm not gonna lie. It was quite relaxing in a weird way. I can't even blame you. I'm a no veggies in my yakisoba, no lettuce, tomato, pickle, those kind of guy. Kasky, you and I are kindred spirits, 100%. 100%. Thankfully, actually, one of the things I learned is, okay, you know how in every language you have loan words? You know, words that are not from that language but are the same? For example, like sushi. You know, what is sushi in English? Well, it's sushi. It's just the same word. I learned while I was out there that in Japanese, ketchup and mayonnaise are ketchup and mayonnaise. Because I asked for it in Wendy's 3 times. So that was our second day. We were still quite tired. So again, we didn't do anything too drastic. But we started a little bit of a walk around, look at things. And then the savage mode started. On day 4, we went to Kyoto. And Kyoto was fan-freaking-tastic. Like, I don't know what I can say about Kyoto without just sounding like tourist number 75,000. But, like, it's just beautiful. Like, we did Kyoto last time we went there. So we did, oh gosh, what's the word? What's it called? I'm suddenly completely drawing on what it was called. The temple at the top of a cliff. Oh shit, what's the name of it? Dang it, Helm, you should know this. It's in your favorite manga. Sorry, I need to Google this. This is gonna bug me. I know exactly what I'm thinking. I just need to think what it's called. Kiyomizu. There we go. Okay. Got there in the end. Sorry, that was going to bug me if I didn't get it out. Yeah, we went to Kiyomizu last time, so we did that, and oh boy, that was like a kid walk in of itself. But so this time we were like, okay, let's go back to Kyoto and do the things we didn't do. So Kyoto, like I said, I already go to Fushimi. Yes, that's what we did this time. This is like at the very bottom, but like this is the one that even if you don't recognize the name, you know this place. You've seen pictures of this place. This is the one that has like the thousands of torii gates just lined up along the whole path. And this was a trial. This was like, how do you feel about stairs? Do you like stairs? I really hope you like stairs, because if you go here, you are going to have to learn to like stairs. I'm not gonna lie, it's worth it. The views that we got over it were like, and like the shrine itself was like beautiful to look at. But whoo boy, is there a lot of stairs. I'm just looking, taking a few pictures of just random things we took pictures as we were going up. One of our friends did not make it to the top, unfortunately. He tapped out halfway through. But we sure as hell made it there. We made it to the top! And the view at the top was amazing. Well, I say from the top, actually, this view I'm about to show here, this view here was not even the top. Look at that view, though. That is an incredible view. It was worth all the pain, honestly. Like, just to get to the top and to say that I did it. Though, there was a rather funny moment where we had the very tourist issue. Because again, we don't speak a lick of the language. So after we left our third friend halfway up, because he just tapped out, he could not make it any further, I said, we've come this far. I want to do this, you know. even if we just go there for like a minute and then immediately turn around, I want to get to the top. So me and my other friend, because again, there were 3 of us in total on the trip, we keep going a bit further up. We go a bit further up, and we see a little waymark stone, right? That says something. Could say literally anything. We don't speak Japanese. But we see numbers on it. Now, we might not speak Japanese, but thankfully numbers are universal. Haha. And we see on the sign, it says something like 220M. So we use our deductive reasoning skills. We're like, 220M. Clearly, this must be indicating that we're going towards the top. And clearly, this is an indication of we're only about 220 meters from the top. Well, that's not very far at all. We can make this. We can do this. We got this. This will be easy. So we keep walking. And we keep walking. And we keep walking. And we're like, this feels like we should have been there significantly, like, by now, right? Like we've definitely walked more than 200 meters, right? We find another signpost, which has the same, text on it, but with a different number. This time it says 240M. And it's at this moment that the proverbial penny drops. And we realize that, in all likelihood, this is not indicating how far it is to the top. This is indicating how high we are. So we had no idea how far we were to the top. But we did make it there. We did make it there. And we got lots of pictures on the way down as well. Funny enough, the way down felt like a longer walk. It was a much easier walk, but it felt like a much longer walk by comparison. And here's why I tell you the other part about the Kyoto trip that we, I was going to say we didn't think through, but honestly, it wasn't really something we could have planned around. We chose the hottest day of the entire trip to do it. Literally, like the entire trip, this was by far the hottest temperature we had the entire trip, and it was the day when we were doing by far the most walking. After we got done here, we came back down, and we walked, we went to pictures. We can get pictures of this. We got some pictures at, oh gosh, I'm really bad with these names. I should really have written these down or something. I don't think we got any pictures of this, actually. So we went to, we took a train a little bit, and we went to like it was basically just like a regular like shopping district that just happens to have a temple in the middle, a shrine in the middle rather. And it was just, no big deal or anything. It was only, just the place where Nobunaga died. NBD. We're just walking down this shopping district. You've got like, card shop, crane game shop, clothing shop. Oh, and, just the place where literally Nobunaga Oda died. No big deal. It was the sweetest thing. Like, it was really cool to look around at it, but it was just like so strange that you had this, probably quite significant place just next to just regular shops. It was so bizarre. And again, another one of those real, this is why we can't have nice things moments, because there's no way we'd get away with that back home. We also, from there, it was like walking distance, we went to this other little museum thing that was the Kyoto, I think it was called the International Manga Museum. Unfortunately, again, we don't speak Japanese, we don't read Japanese, and it's a shame we don't, because if you read Japanese, you should go here, because they have like a huge section of manga. Like, just imagine a whole library of manga. That's basically it. They have like some exhibits as well, and one of the exhibits was actually really cool. It was an exhibit of mangaka's hands holding pens that they had cast in plaster. It was really interesting to me to see the different ways that they held their pens, and I felt really vindicated. Because when I was a wee Helmlet, I got told off constantly for holding my pen incorrectly. In fact, do you guys know those little, those rubber things that they put on pencils to teach you how to hold a pencil properly? I was made to use those for ages. And I feel vindicated because some of those mangaka the way they were holding their pencils, they looked alien. The way I look at it, as long as you have the results, as long as you can put the results on paper, that's all that matters. Although, mind you, my handwriting is actually terrible, so maybe the teachers had a point. Maybe. Just maybe a little bit of a point. So that was Kyoto. We debated doing a second day, but we were just too tapped out. Oh, right! I almost forgot. We did an oopsie in Kyoto as well. Well, not in Kyoto, on the way from Kyoto, I should say. So to go to Kyoto, we ride the Shinkansen, the bullet train, and the bullet train is like really cool. It is just a really big train, like it goes really fast, but it's just a really cool experience to ride it. On the way back, we did an oops. We got on the wrong train. Now, thankfully, we got away with this, but we had like a special rail pass that allowed us to get on. We basically had unlimited travel on the Japan rail lines, as well as we could ride certain Shinkansen lines for free. I believe the ones that we were allowed on were the Kodama and the Hikari ones, I think. We misread one of the things, and we jumped on a Nozomi one, which it worked out. We got away with it because we hopped off at the very first station we could, and it turned out the ones we could get on also stopped at this station, but we were just like sitting there anxiously, just like act casual, act normal. Everything's fine, nothing's the matter, act casual, and hoping that no one asked for a ticket or anything like that. Thankfully, we got away with it, and we learned to not make that mistake again, but yay, we did a bad, technically did a massive oopsie. So, that was day 4. Just play the guiding card, it's fine. Honestly, yes. The way I looked at it, thank you very much, sir, but kindly, and I mean this with the most respect, kindly fuck off. Thank you very much. Damn bots making us actual bots look bad. Right, what was I gonna say? Right, so yeah, playing the guiding card. Yeah, we didn't really have to do that too much, but I told myself this through the entire trip. We are not the first stupid foreigner these people will have had to deal with, and we will not be the last. That was what kept me comforted through the entire trip. No matter what we did, we were not going to be the first time that these people have encountered someone doing something they shouldn't have done. We're not going to be the last. The important thing is we weren't doing it on purpose. And if we had been told off, we would have just been like, oh my god, we're so sorry. On my first days in Japan, I took down some stairs and got a sudden man over. I was mortified. I would have been as well. Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? Anywhere you go, no one cares if you do the wrong thing, as long as it's about how you react to doing the wrong thing. You know, if you make a mistake, it's fine. Everyone makes mistakes. That's why we have erasers on the end of pencils. It's about how you react to the mistake and the intent behind the mistake. If you're hopping on the wrong train because you're trying to just, avoid the fare, well, then you're being a dick. Don't be a dick. Good and evil are relative, but being a dick cannot be allowed. If you're getting on the wrong train because you're a dumb foreigner and you misread the sign, well, slap on the wrist, get on, get out of here, you. You did less harm than most other foreigners as of late. True! Literally while we were out there, so I had X on my phone, I had my Twitter on my phone, because I wanted to share some pictures and stuff and updates while we were out there. I saw a post on Twitter about I think she was American, she might have been British, but I'm assuming American woman, who, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, mounted the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya. Like, literally, climbed the statue and sat on the poor dog. In what reality would you think that's an okay thing to do? Anywhere? Like, much less in a foreign country. I wouldn't do that in my own one. Like, these are people who have never been told no. I'm not saying bring back bullying. Because trust me, I am the last person that wants that. But I am saying, maybe we can have like just a little bit more shaming going on. Not lots of shaming. Like we haven't got to start judging people for things they like. But maybe just like, maybe we need to have just like a little bit more shame in just the general public. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. Anyway, so that was the Kyoto day. The day afterwards, kind of a little bit of a wash, actually. So, oh, you're fine, buddy. I got you there. There you go. I'm glad the only dumb phony thing I did was get my bag of sex of the trick account and have to ask me back through to get it. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure they were absolutely fine with it. So, day 5. On day 5, we had a plan. We were gonna go to the Tokyo Skytree. We've been to the Tokyo Skytree before. We did it last time, but the hotel we were staying at was like so close. It was a case of we might as well do it again. It's not very expensive, and it's a really like cool view. We might as well go there again. So we go to Tokyo Skytree, which, if you've never seen it before, it's a really big tower, basically. I think it is. Well, I don't know if it still is, but it was like the world's tallest tower at one point. I think it might still be, because it's like it's something to do with the definition of tower, I believe. But this is just a giant elevator, essentially. So we get there, and we get to like see the we get there and we're looking at like getting in there and whatnot, and it says like, oh, tickets for like buying on the door not available. And we're like, oh, well that sucks. Thankfully, like we've still got plenty of days left in the holiday. We said, okay, that's fine. We'll go back to the hotel and we'll make sure to go ahead and just we'll book them online. We'll do another day. That was a bit of a wash, but it's fine. Thankfully, though, the Skytree is also attached to basically a shopping center, like a small shopping mall. And there were a few things there that were definitely worth seeing, such as this. Unfortunately, we couldn't get in here. It seemed like this was an appointment thing as well. But they had this little Kirby cafe here, and it's adorable. Look at them! I love Kirby. He is such a friend. We couldn't get in here, unfortunately, but like, just seeing these guys made me so happy. Model D, yeah, that's so cute. I love Kirby. Kirby is one of those designs that's like, if you do not like Kirby, okay, if you dislike Kirby, I do not trust you as a human being. Like, you might say like Kirby doesn't really do much for you, you don't find it interesting or anything like that. That's fine. But if you say, I don't like Kirby, I do not trust you. Same with penguins. I have a theory that no human being actually dislikes penguins. And if you say that you don't like penguins, I don't think I can trust you. Unless you've got like some particular reason to, like if you've had a bad experience with a penguin, I'll give you a pass on that. Penguins are cute. They are. Oh, the cafes are lottery based. I could see that, yeah. We didn't really look too much into it. We were kind of just passing by it. However, here's where we also did some more. It was where I cracked the old purse open a little bit more, because one of the things that is attached to the Skytree was the Pokemon Center. I had to restrain myself here. Now, I had to restrain myself here. I'm not saying I succeeded. I attempted to restrain myself. But, as the old Pokemon saying goes, it's not very effective. So they had this awesome Rayquaza here, and they also had, like, the starters here. These were, like, right by the checkouts. So, I shared some of these on Twitter, so you might have seen these before, but, well, first off, I love Screamtail. Jigglypuff I could honestly take or leave. But the fangs. Something about giving Screamtail the fangs elevates this design from like a 6 to like an 11 to me. I don't know why. And of course, best girl Iono. Fun fact, actually. We went back to the Pokemon Center because we did go to the Skytree eventually, obviously. I had a look in the Pokemon Center on the way to the Skytree the other time. This Iono was sold out by then. Japan has good taste. They know what's good. And of course, that wasn't all we came away with, because, as I said, I tried to restrain myself. I did not succeed. So here we have everyone's favourite Pokemon. So, I don't know if I mentioned this before. Whoops, that's hold on. Do it this way. There we go. So I don't know if I mentioned this before. One of my favourite things are plushies of things that really probably should not be plushies. The less cute and cuddly a Pokemon is, the more I want it as a plushie. Like, I have a Metagross plushie, I have 3 Magnemite plushies, I have a Magneton plushie, I have a Sharpedo plushie. The less cute it is, the more I want it to be a plushie. Granted, this doesn't apply to all of these because, you know, Swadloon and Aron are very cute. Or the Aron is, like, very firm. But here we have everyone's favourite Pokemon. You know, we have the classics. We have Sword. We have Sword plural. We have Metal Boy. We have Spiky Wheel. And Depression. I love these guys. This for the unfamiliar, this plushie line is called, in Japan it's known as Pokemon Fit. In the West it's localized as Pokemon Sitting Cuties. I love this line. The entire mission statement of this line of plushies is, we are going to do a plushie of every Pokemon. Every Pokemon. And that is great to me. Like, if I was about to say if I was 12 years old, I would be extremely excited about this. I am still extremely excited about this. This is the best thing ever. Correct me if I'm wrong, does Japan have the giant Mewtwo in the tube? The one we went to didn't, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was one that did, for certain. So yeah, we spent quite a bit in the Pokemon Center here. I did restrain myself from getting anything on the return visit, but yeah, we came back with a lot of plushies. And that was our first major purchase. But we weren't done with the day there, because we're like, okay, you know, we might have not been able to go to the Sky Tree, but we can still turn the day into something. Let's go and do something else that, again, we did last time, but it's close. We know we can do it in the time frame. And of course, that something is, we went and saw the Unicorn Gundam again, and our timing was perfect for this. We arrived at, like, I want to say about 5 minutes to 3, and the transformation sequence was at 3. So we arrived at, like, the exact perfect time. We barely had to wait at all for this. It was fantastic. We've seen it before. Again, I even got videos recorded from the last time we went there, but it's such a cool thing to say. The unfortunate thing here was, though, here's where, again, the day ended up being a little bit of a wash. So, at the top of the, basically, shopping centre, Odaiba's, this is at Odaiba, yes, that is correct. At the top of the, again, basically shopping centre, I don't know what you'd want to call it, there is the whole top floor is just like a Gunpla shop / museum. And we went there last time, and it's great. Like, they have everything that you could imagine. They had, like, the Gunpla World Cup builders models. They're, like, brilliant place to look around. Unfortunately, it turns out that on certain days, they do restricted entry there. And we chose to go on a day when there was restricted entry, and we couldn't get in. So unfortunately, that was a bit of a wash. We still got to see the Unicorn Gundam, but unfortunately, we didn't get as much done with the day as we would have hoped, but it was still a good time. Suzuka, hello! Welcome, have a good evening! Lovely to see you again, hope you're doing well. So, yeah, unfortunately that day was a little bit of a wash. This is the one they're keeping, right? The giant one is being removed. Yes, so the one they've removed is already gone. That was the moving RX-78. That one, I think they closed that one down in, I think it was earlier this year. I think it was like March, I'm going to say. Something like that. Something like that, at least. I remember one of my friends sending me an article about it, saying that it was going to be closed down before we were going out there with an upside-down smiley face emoji. Like, that sucks, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Honestly, it's kind of on par for my luck. So then day 6 rolled around. And day 6 was the worst day for me. See, when we went to Kyoto and we did all that walking around, I got home feeling I got back to the hotel feeling exhausted. My joints were killing me, but I thought I'd be fine. And the day after, which was this day, I was fine. Although, when I got back to the hotel, my knee started kind of twinging a little bit, kind of started hurting a little bit. And I just thought to myself, oh, that's nothing to worry about. I'm sure it's just like, overexertion and all that. But, no, it wasn't. That wasn't the case at all. I woke up on the dawn of the 6th day, and I could barely walk. I don't actually know what happened to my leg. I don't know whether I bashed it at some point and forgot about it. I don't know if it was just the cumulative stresses of all the walking we'd been doing, because we had been, make no mistake, we did a heck of a lot of walking on this holiday. But I honestly could literally barely walk. And unfortunately, on the 7th day, I spent the vast majority of it in the hotel room, trying to repair my leg and just watching YouTube on the TV. On the plus side, though, shout-outs to MBT, because Twitter threads are very easy watching when you're lying in bed in pain. However, there is some mild good news for this. I can pride myself on one small thing, which is every day on this holiday, I did something. Even if it wasn't something tremendously exciting, even if it wasn't like going somewhere amazing, I did something with the holiday that I can say, this is what I did on this day. And on the day when my leg was completely screwed up, before I decided that I can't walk, I tried to walk for a little bit, and we got to a little local arcade. And I won a Kirby. Just nothing special. He's just a little Kirby. He's just a little guy. He's just a little EP guy. But I had to get the EP Kirby because he reminded me of Baguska. He's only like a little, he's about the size of like a baseball, I'd say, but yeah, crane game, yeah. In fact, I actually had another crane game win as well, but that was a couple days later, so we'll get to that. Funnily enough, I haven't got a picture of this. When we went to Yokohama, one of my friends we saw a crane game there, right? And that, literally all over the place. We were finding crane games and gacha machines everywhere, right? We found this one crane game that had a Snorlax plushie in it. And one of my friends said, oh, my brother loves Snorlax because they have a lot in common. Make of that what you will. I'm going to try and win that. He goes over there, and it's just a regular old, claw grabber, pick up the plushie kind of crane game. He gets it first try. Literally 100 yen, or is it 1 or 2, I forget. And he gets this pretty large Snorlax plushie. It was maybe about, I don't know why I'm sitting here gesturing with my hands. You can't see my hands. Maybe about a 1.5 feet tall. It was a pretty large plushie. And I was like, wow, that's really good luck. I wonder if I'll have that good luck later when I try and do more crane games. Foreshadowing is a narrative device. Anyways, so that was that day. Is there a Baguska plushie? I wish there was an actual Baguska plushie. Unfortunately, there is not. So, yeah, after a day of my leg being completely destroyed, thankfully the next day, I was pretty much fine. The auto repairs did their job, and it barely bothered me for the rest of the vacation. In fact, I think the day afterwards, it was completely fine. So with that was when we went back to the Skytree, which I'm going to show the Skytree again, but here it is again for a reminder. Skytree. So this is literally this central part here is an elevator. You go up I don't even know how many stories it would be, but the actual highest point of the Skytree is, I believe, 400 meters or 450 meters, I think. And it's astonishingly fast. And of course, when you get up there to the top, the views speak for themselves. Especially when they're sideways. Why they're sideways? I don't know why I imported sideways. It's not even sideways in my folder. But look at this. look at the view. It's so, like, it looks like an AI image. Like, it really does. Like, there's so much just detail and just stuff crammed into the city. It looks fake. But no, this is real. Like, this is the actual view. Unfortunately, we did get slightly cheated because if it's really clear, you can apparently see Mount Fuji from the Skytree. Unfortunately, both this time and the last time we went there, the view was not clear enough for us to see Mount Fuji. But they do have one thing there. We've got a couple more of these view photos here, just different angles. Because again, like, the whole viewing deck is like a 360-degree deck, so like you can just look around and, you know, look at different parts of the city. I think this might be the same area, I don't even know. They all look the same, the city's all blurring together. But one thing they have there that I did like, I did enjoy a lot. Who's afraid of heights? Because they have this. What is this? This is a glass floor. This is the view through a window to 450 meters straight down. It doesn't look like that big of a deal in a photo, but it sure as heck feels it when you're standing on it. I'm weird in that this did not bother me at all. I don't like heights, but this didn't bother me. There's floor beneath me. And I'm like, this has to have been through so many safety checks and balances. There's no way in hell this is unsafe. That's why I'm okay with it, you know? But yeah. After that, that was like kind of half the day. So it's back to Akiba again. And again, we didn't really spend much here. Took some photos of some cool things. Like we have this cool Saber Nero Bride figure. Oh, I remember now. I remember why we took a picture of this. So this, if I remember correctly, this brand here, or this line here, I guess you could say, if I remember correctly, these are like, color resin kits. We took a picture of this because one of my friends was actually going to look into potentially getting some of these later. Not because apparently they like look good out of the box without painting, which for someone like me, that's great. I can't paint for shit. We also saw this really adorable Miku. Don't get me wrong, I like Miku normally, but braids Miku with glasses? This is peak. This is peak Miku. We have reached maximum Miku levels. It will never get more Miku than this. This is the best Miku. How close are we to the boy? Close. Actually, I think it's a few days yet to go. Although, speaking of the boy, not really boy, more kind of daddy. So, I've made it clear before that I'm not one for edgy things. The edgy aesthetic is not my vibe. But, you know, I can make an exception once in a while. This is King Hassan from Fate. This did not have a price on it. I don't even think it was for sale. What you cannot properly grasp from this image is the size of this thing. Like, this was like maybe not 4 foot, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but this was like at least 2 foot, maybe 3 foot tall. Like, it was big. Had some presence. I'm like, man. Like I said, I do not go for the edge. But I make an exception for King Hassan. Say hello, welcome. Lovely to see you, hope you're doing well. So, yeah, we're at Akiba. And then our next day, day 8, this was probably, this was the worst day overall. But it was kind of our fault. But also kind of the bad luck. So, on day 8, we went to the Eorzea Cafe. You know, the one based around the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV, the one that has the unlimited free trial to level 70, including Aroma Born, the award-winning expansion Heavensward, and Stormblood, with no limitations on playtime, that one. We went here, but we made a goof. This was entirely our fault. We booked it for 3 p.m., and that was definitely a mistake. That was definitely something we should not have done. Because it kind of meant that it was sort of not quite lunchtime, not quite dinner time, and we were kind of pottering around Akihabara for like a few hours, and it was raining. Like the weather was absolutely miserable that day. This is when I learned something about Japan's weather. So I'm not sure if this is Japan being the exception to what I'm used to, or if England are the weird ones in this regard, but here in England, if it rains, we just wait it out, you know. Give it like 20 minutes, it'll probably stop, maybe an hour if you're unlucky. From my experience in Japan, when it rains, that is it. That is the day. The day is now rainy, you will now adapt around this fact. I always thought it was really weird that in Persona games, that when the weather is rainy, that's the entire day. But no, I've come to realize that that's just how it works in Japan. That's literally just how it works in Japan. And so it was a really rainy day. We were kind of mulling around Akihabara, kind of killing time. Entirely our own fault. Did not change the fact that the Aoze Cafe was wonderful. They've got all this cool decor around, like they've got this axe here, replica axe from like the game. You have like an astrolabe here. They've got like songs playing from the game on like a constant loop. Got this cool bow here, and we got some of their. So, fun enough, here was the other part we messed up on. Again, entirely our fault. So we'd been to the Aoze Cafe before. We had a great time last time as well. The thing is that, as I stated, me and my friends are quite picky eaters. However, even at the Aoze Cafe, we could find something we ate. They had fried dodo, which was just, you know, fried chicken, which would satisfy my exceptionally picky friend. I am a fussy eater. My fussy eater friend makes me look positively reasonable. So even he was satisfied. However, what we didn't realize is when we booked our tickets for the Aoze Cafe, they had a special event going on to celebrate Dawn Trail's release. And as a result, we're running a completely different menu to the usual one. There were still things we ate, but it kind of really threw us off at first because we were like, oh, I want to try this again. I want to have this again. I remember that from last time. I'm going to have that one again. And suddenly that got completely thrown out the window. That said, though, that was entirely an us thing. Did not change the fact it was a great time. And I got some of the pictures of the fancy drinks that we got there. We have... So all of the classes had a drink based around them. We didn't have all of them because that would be an awful lot of drinks. But we had... This was their warrior one. This is a mixture of strawberry syrup, cola, and Red Bull with freeze-dried strawberries on top. I didn't have this one, my friend had this one, but I had a little sip of it. Very good, actually. Like, I wouldn't have thought the combo would necessarily work. The Red Bull sounded a bit off-putting, but actually very good. Then we had... Oh, this was one he had as well. This was Ishtola. I don't remember what this one was. I remember it was based on Ishtola, but I don't know what the actual drink was. I think this one was alcoholic, but I'm not sure. I didn't try it. One of that. He also had this one, which was this was the best one theming wise. This was the Pictomancer drink. You get like the base drink with like these syrup capsules to add your own flavor, which I thought was very cute. As far as the ones I had, this was actually where's that picture? There's that picture. This was the Paladin one. This was I forget what the other flavor was. It was something in coconut was this flavor. And it was really nice, but not my favorite. I was expecting the coconut to be a lot more of a subtle flavor, but like coconut was the main flavor here. It dominated just a little bit, in my opinion, but it was still good. Just probably not my favorite one. But I think in terms of the presentation, the Scholar one here takes the cake. This is just melon soda with like ice cream in top, and then white chocolate wings with like whipped cream. In terms of the theming, this was probably the best one, I think. A lot of the drinks that they had last time we were there had better theming, but But again, this was like the limited menu, so all of these were just for this event menu. And there was one more thing we'd done this day as well, because I said earlier that I did win one more thing out of a crane game. I'm not going to tell you how many plays it took me, but I could not resist her. I will remind you, let's do this. I will remind you at this point, at the point I won this, I had not seen this show. I had not seen Bocce at the point I won this, but I saw this plushie, and I'm just like, wow, I have never seen a plushie that is such a gigantic mood before. I need her. This convinced me that I needed to watch this show, and I'm glad I did. It was a really good show. So we have this adorable Bocce. And I did buy a couple more things on this day, actually. A couple of the things I had bought I didn't get pictures of. That's fine, though. We have these. If you've never seen these, this is Gundam Converge. These are like little tiny chibi figures. I have a couple of these from our last trip. I have a couple of gyms, a gym cannon, and a gun tank. I could not resist the tiny balls. Yes, Yobi, balls. It's okay. As long as I don't touch, it's okay. I also couldn't resist these. I don't know when I'm gonna get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Physically again, because I think the shop where I used to go to locals, I don't know if they're doing events anymore. I looked at their schedule when I got home, and there's no events listed for like months, so I don't know if they've given up on Yu-Gi-Oh! But either way, I couldn't help but get these sleeves. I just think this is just such a cool design. Yeah, they're just sleeves. They're just sleeves of the back, but they're in blue. They also had them in red and yellow, but I just thought the blue ones just looked so sick, I couldn't resist them. And there's one more thing I bought. Now this one I did not take a picture of because, well, it wouldn't look as cool if I took a picture of it, because I bought a model kit. So rather than show you guys the box of the model kit itself, I've got this convenient image from the internet of what it looks like. Oh wait, this image is a WebP. God damn it, WebPs. Why do WebPs exist? Can we eradicate WebPs, please? Okay, that did not work. One moment! Sorry about this, we've been WebP'd. Or like WebPs nuts or something. Got 'em, I think. Hold on. Hold on! Good man, sorry. We're finding a replacement image. We've been caught short. Here we go. There we go. This looks like a good image. No, it's a tiny image. Dang it! Can you please have a good... I just want a high-res version of this art, please. You know what? This will work. This is the box art. This will do. This will do. Alright. There we go. So I bought this model kit. I had been seeing this kit online, and I'd been wanting to get hold of it. But when I was looking at this online on the internet, it was like £120. I got this for £55. Less than half price. In fact, it would have been about £60. But guess what? The shop did tax-free for tourists. So let's go! So yeah, I love this design. I've said before how I love like angelic aesthetics. This kit also, what this artwork does not show off is this kit has a lot of wings. By which I mean it has 6 wings. We are 100% displaying it with the 6 wings, by the way. That is how it's going to be built. And on top of that, she has a helmet. We are going to be going with the helmet with... Well, actually, I don't know. We might go with the helmet. I like the hair, though. The twin tails are very cute. But yeah, very happy to get hold of this. Especially because I specifically wanted this kit. Or if you put the helmet on the dog, Kasky, now you're cooking. Now you're cooking. While we're on the topic of Akihabara, I need to show you guys something incredible. Japan is destroying us in the mascot game. Right? Why am I saying this? Well, there was a shop in Japan, in Akihabara, we went into. We went to it a few times. There's a shop called Big Camera. And it's just like a large electronic stores. They do like video games, but they also do just like other things like fridges, TVs, just as everything, right? They have their own anime girl, and she's so cute. Look at this design. Like, holy shit, this design is so cute. But the crazy thing is, from what I have gathered of this is not even the mascot for the entire chain. This is the mascot for specifically the Akihabara branch of this chain. Japan is absolutely destroying us. Also, this artwork for her here, this looks like a VTuber. If they are not VTubing with this character, they are missing out on a huge opportunity. Come on, guys. You are leaving money on the table. I am very aware that my streams are very frequently visited by Japanese businessmen who are very influential in electronics companies. So come on, guys. Get her streaming. I'd sub. I'd buy merch for this. I actually think they have made merch for this character, but they didn't have any when we went there. But this is peak design, honestly. Like, this is a really good design. So that was the Aoze Cafe. What did we do the next day? What was next? Oh yeah, so next we went to a place whose name I am definitely gonna butcher the pronunciation of. Because I'm British and I don't know how to pronounce foreign words. I'm gonna assume the Japanese pronunciation is Hakone. We were calling it Hakone the whole time, but I'm sure that's probably very incorrect. It is let me start over. To get there, we take the most charming rail ride I've ever been on. Like, this was just the view out of the train to get there. Like, when you're going, you go up this, basically the mountainside in this really adorable little train. It's only like 3 or 4 cars long, but it doesn't feel like you're on a train because it's quite a slow little ride. And as you're going there, you have the usual announcer, you know, like, we'll soon be arriving at whatever station, you know, etc., etc. But they also just give you trivia about the train itself. Because it's not a straightforward, journey, right? So I can just move this a little bit here. So, like, the train ride is something like this. Like, it goes... There are multiple times where the train goes forward. Right, so if I zoom a little bit here, you're going forward in this direction. The train pulls into the station here and then reverses out, and it does this twice as you're going up the hill. It's really strange, but it's kind of cool. So that bridge and a bunch of toku works. Possibly, I believe they mentioned this bridge was famous. So as you get to the top, you then ride a... Do we have a picture of this? I don't think we have a picture of this, unfortunately. This part was quite crowded, so we didn't get a good picture of it, but there is a... For lack of a... I don't know if this is the proper word for it, but I'd call it like a rope car? So you're going up basically a 45 roughly degree incline in a train, right? But the train has like a cable going along it that it is presumably like pulling itself up with. It's a really weird thing because like it has platforms, but the platforms are also at like this sharp angle. It was very crowded though, so we couldn't get like any good pictures of it, but it was a very surreal experience. Like the magnet train in Pokemon Gold and Silver? Maybe? I'm not actually sure how... I think the magnet train is more of a Shinkansen kind of thing. It might... I might be wrong on that, I'm not sure. But once we get to the top of that, that's where the real main event starts. Because at the top, we have this. Cable cars! Remember that part where Helm says she doesn't like heights much? I'm actually fine with this, fun enough. I thought I was going to be way worse with this, but no, I was fine with the cable cars. And these go, well, pretty high, shall we say. This was, I think this image was, I think this was the way back. This was like the downhill shots. But, oh, we also got a little guest appearance for Mount Fuji. just Mount Fuji, just peeking over the clouds here in the distance. Just here to say hi. So yeah, in Hakone, it's like a volcanic region, actively volcanic, and when you're riding the cable cars, you can literally see this. Why is it all? I don't know why they're importing in this orientation. Literally, you can see all like the steam and like the geysers coming out through these cracks here. And one of the big things they do here is, it's a big tourist thing, is they boil eggs in like the hot springs there, and they come out black. And the urban legend is if you eat one, it extends your lifespan by 7 years. Unfortunately, I don't eat egg. I don't like eggs, so I had to pass on that. But one of my friends had a go at it, and he said, "Yep, that is an egg. There's a boiled egg." I thought there's some better pictures. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Here was one from the top. Yeah, this was just like a really like nice. It was just a nice place to go. There wasn't like a lot to do there, but it was just, the views were incredible. They had a little museum at the top. It was quite cute as well. Like, it was a huge museum, but it was like 100 yen to go in. So like, you know, not exactly like getting ripped off or anything. Oh, I forgot about this. In the gift shop, we took a picture of this because look at this. They're all like legally distinct versions of logos themed around it. I don't know whose idea this was, but I love this so much. Like even the Monster Energy, the Minecraft Mount Fuji. I don't know. I just love these. These were just great. Umo, yeah. Just, I don't know who's Unagi Eats down here. I don't know whose idea this was, but this is brilliant. I love this. I wish more places had exactly this. I think that's more on the way down. We got some images as well. Oh, actually, that other one couldn't have been from the way down, because these were from the way down. Yeah, the black eggs, as I was saying there. Where's the one from the cable car? I thought we had a good shot from that. Oh, you know what? I think they've got mixed out of order. There we go. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Was this the one? Yeah, okay. So this was, we did get some on the way back. I remember now. This was the vehicle I was trying to describe. So, like, that's clearly enough. This was basically a train, but you can see there's a cable beneath, right? And this train is entirely, like, it's not straight. If you look at it from the side on, it is literally built to be wonky. Like, the lower part, the front, or the back, depending which way you're going, is literally lower than the other one. And then when you look at the front, you can see the cable runs the whole length of the track. And yeah, you can see, like, this is downhill. That's how you can see so much of it. It's a gay train. Well, it was June when we were there. Happy Pride, everyone. The bit that really weirded me out is, you can see down here, like, this bit here. When you get to this part, the train passes a second car. I don't know what sorcery has to happen for that to work, but I trust the process. So that was Hakone. That was just a very nice visit, honestly. Again, wasn't a very like high intensity day. Just very relaxing, but just like nice, you know? Just both agreed to be cool and not hit each other. True, honestly. Very true. The next day, day 10, we're near the second, well, we're near the end actually, we've only got a few days left. This day was when we did something that this was what I specifically wanted to do. I had this on my list of things to do. We're going to the zoo. How about you can come to going to the zoo. I love zoos. I can't help it. If there is an animal nearby, I am happy. I am like a dog. You know how dogs just get very excited just to see you because you're there? Like, the dog doesn't demand anything from you. The dog doesn't need you to do a trick or to feed it or even pet it. The dog is just happy because you are there. That is me with most animals. If there's an animal nearby, I am having a good time. And the Ueno Zoo, well, certainly fit that bill. Also, once again, Japan is destroying us. So I actually went to London Zoo in February. I actually went there for my birthday because I like going to the zoo. London Zoo. How much do you think? Yeah, let's play a game, chat. Let's play a game. How much do you think entry fee costs to London Zoo? You know, it's a very large zoo. You know, don't get me wrong. It's a pretty big zoo. So how much do you think to go to London Zoo? How much do you think it costs? You know, for a standard adults tickets. You know, how much do you think it might cost? £49.99. Okay, I got 49. You may have highballed that a little bit, but maybe by not as much as you might be thinking. I'm double checking myself and make sure I'm getting it exactly correct. $25. So for the London Zoo, for an adult's ticket, for a single adult's ticket, and I'm checking myself right now. Yep, it is still what I thought it was. Standard ticket is £31 British pounds. To put that in comparison, that is half a PlayStation 5 game. They're typically £60. How much do you think it costs for a single adult ticket to the Ueno Zoo? Spoiler alert! It is significantly cheaper. But the question is, how much cheaper do we think it is? Obviously, it's quite a lot cheaper, or I wouldn't be bringing it up. But the degree to which is 1,500 yen, okay, 1,500, 3, okay. So, 1,500 yen, for comparison, is about £7.50. And Kasky, you are over. You are significantly over. Because the Ueno Zoo, in yen, for an adult's ticket, 600 yen. That is £3. Japan is absolutely beating our ass. I have no words. I have no words. But don't get me wrong. The Ueno Zoo was, you know, it's not as big as London Zoo. To be fair, most zoos aren't. But like, that's absurd. I would go here like every week, practically, if it was that cheap. To which my brother almost says I'm quote on the street. Yeah, so we went around there and we looked at all the animals, and they have all kinds of things there. We got owls. Why are these all coming in sideways? I don't know why they're coming in sideways. In my file viewer, they are the right way up. I don't know why they import sideways. We got owls. We got everything here. I really liked the where are they? Okay, I know they're not necessarily like a very what's the word? They don't get a very good rap, shall we say, but I really like the vultures. I don't know why. They just looked really healthy and... Is that a vulture VTuber? I feel like you could do a really cool design out of like a vulture. You know, take like the bird idea and give it a bit of like maybe a bit of punk or a rocky kind of look. I feel like you could do a lot of cool things with that. We also got a rare sight indeed, because every time I go to the zoo, this does not happen. We actually saw the tiger. The tiger actually deigned to bless us with its presence. You can tell though, this was one of the warmer days as well. Like, poor thing sitting there panting. He was hot. We were all hot. You take pictures with your eyes? No, I didn't take any of these pictures actually. These were all taken by my friend because I haven't got a way of exporting anything I take with my eyes, and my phone's camera is kind of poop. So all the pictures at the zoo we took were done by my friend. The vulture's gonna because they stream videos from graduate VTubers and that's their content. That'd be amazing. We also saw a polar. I felt bad for the polar bear just because it was really hot. But to be fair, he didn't seem to be minding it too much. Ironically, the polar bear seemed to be coping with it better than the tiger was. And we got some other EP bears. Look at this guy. Look at him. He's so EP. But we also got a peek at... Where is it? The pandas. So they have 3 pandas there. But we only saw 2 of them. Because you had to queue to get into them, and the very first one we saw, we got a good picture of him being EP. Look at him. He's a little EP boy. I was surprised. I always thought pandas were larger, honestly. Like, I expected pandas to be more about the size of, like, I don't know, like a polar bear, but maybe it was just because we were quite far away, but they looked a lot smaller to me. Any red pandas? Yes, they had red pandas. Where's the red pandas? Hold on. I don't think we got a very good shot of the red pandas, because I think they came out a bit more, I think the autofocus on the camera was acting up for that one. I can't find it suddenly. Oh, I know we had some pictures of them. Where are they? Where are Oh, there we go. Might be a little bit blurry, but we did get some trash panda pictures. Red pandas, rather. I love red pandas. They're so adorable. We also got. Where is he? I made a point of getting a picture of this. Even though it's not even that good of a picture. I demanded we got a picture of this. Here we go. Helm, what is this? Why are you showing us this? You can't even identify what animal this is. Why would you be so excited about getting a picture of a sleeping animal that you can't even identify? Is that what you're saying right now? Because yes, Kasky, it's literally him. For real, for real. Baguska IRL found. The fact that the tapir was so hot and sleepy was just, it made my day. Genuinely made my day. IRL Baguska. We found him, boys. Let's see what else. Did we get a good? We've got like hundreds of shots from the zoos. Like, we literally took pictures of every animal we could find. So I'm just trying to find like some of the really good shots, because not all of them turned out fantastic, unfortunately. Oh, I love rhinos. I have no follow-up for this. I just think rhinos are just like the coolest things ever. Like, they're just land tanks. They're just animals that are tanks. I love them. I have no follow-up. I have no. I'm not going anywhere with this. I just want to express that rhinos are pretty cool. And so are turtles. This is me. This is literally me at like the first few minutes after I wake up. I just have no thoughts or eyesight. What? What? What do you mean I have no thoughts or eyesight? What? If there's a reference here, I'm afraid it's passing me by. Wait, hold on. I can do a different reference. Hold on. Bear with me. I'm doing the thing again where I'm setting up for a dumb joke that's not worth it. I have no idea which of you guys I'm looking for right now. But you know what you will do. Look! Rhinos! Rhinos! Our enemies hide in metal boxes, the cowards! The fools! We should take away their metal boxes. I've never even played Dawn of War 2. I only barely even understand that reference. I barely know anything about Warhammer. I just know that particular reference. I am the fakest Warhammer fan you'll ever find. Actually, that's not true. I'm not the fakest Warhammer fan you'll ever find. I'm not really a big fan of Warhammer. Oh, gosh. Funnily enough, I'm trying to find them. We did take some pictures of some frogs as well. I'm trying to see. Here we go. We found frogs. Not jams, but we did find frogs. Piranha, hello! Welcome! Missed you, about spending the 4th of July playing Among Us in a bunny suit. As long as you're having fun, that's the important thing. But lovely to see you. Hope you're doing well. Frogs are cool. Funnily enough, this is like the best frog we got, like a picture of. A lot of the frogs, for some reason, were doing this. Which, hold on. We can rotate this. Because this frog is vertical. Like, for some reason, a lot of the small frogs we found were, like, wedged up on the corner of their cages for some reason. I have no idea what they thought they were doing, but They seem to be enjoying themselves, so, you know, we're not going to question it too much. What are we trying to cool off? Yeah, it was pretty darn warm, not going to lie. Vertical frog. Engage vertical frog. But yeah, the energy was very nice. And what was this? I'm trying to find some of the other good pictures here. We got some, I think these are groundhogs, I think? I'm trying to remember if they had a capybara. I don't think they had capybaras, but I could be wrong on that. Going for sort of groundhogs, yeah, one of them. Like I said, I am very easily pleased. Just seeing animals just makes me happy. Oh, this guy. Absolute. Look at this absolute unit. We found DES Frog IRL. Look at him. Hold on. Let's grab him. There we go. Literally him IRL. And a big frog. Yeah, big frog, giant frog. Big boy. Yeah. We got like a billion pictures from the zoo. I think more than half of our overall pictures are just from the zoo, because again, we would just like take pictures of absolutely every animal we can physically find. So I'm not going to go through all of them, we'd be here all day, but... Oh! As I'm scrolling through, I found this image. So this was not from the Pokemon Center, but it was from the same... It was in the same building. I actually took this later, but... So I got this adorable jar of candy. Purely because I wanted the jar. The candy inside is, like, fine. It's, like, nothing special. It's just kind of your bog standard, like, boiled candy. But, I've got the jar here. It's a fantastic dice jar. I just have 2 sets of green dice in this jar, and I couldn't be happy about it. You can't see from the picture, but the lid where Bulbasaur is on, it actually has his lower half, like the underside of it. He has his, like, butt sticking out. It's great. There are a bunch of these, but Bulbasaur is my top 1 Pokemon, so I had to get Bulbasaur. Although, if there was Magnemite, we would have got Magnemite. It's a very cute Bulbasaur. The behavior you saw is called glass surfing. It's common among frogs and other reptiles kept in captivity. When they press against the glass or corner of the enclosure and lift their arms, it often indicates they're stressed or trying to escape. Behavior can be triggered by various factors like inadequate habitat conditions, discomfort, or simply seeking a way out. It's essential to check and adjust their environment to ensure they feel secure and comfortable. Oh, well, I hope they were feeling okay. That makes me a bit sad now, but I hope they're doing all right. I'm not being funny. I'm sure that the conditions were good enough for them. They might have just been having a bad day of it. To be fair, it was very hot as well. So yeah, we got that cute bottle, and we're getting near the end of the trip now. Actually, I actually don't think I have any pictures from this day in particular. Zenny, thank you for the raid! Welcome in, raiders! I'm Helm-Chan, the perfectly normal robot maid. I just come back from my trip and I'm just doing a little bit of a kind of show and tell, if you like, of what we saw and what we did. But Zenny, thank you for the raid. I hope you're doing well yourself. Lovely to see you, of course. Give you a shout out here, of course. I don't know why my copy paste is not working. I don't trust myself to... There we go. There we go. There we go. I got the shout out done properly. Is it time for the boy? Patience, Zordon. Patience. No. So what came next was actually we were events. Zenny, thank you for the resub. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Lovely to see you. You've been doing very, very well. Thank you so much for all the support you give. Really appreciate it. So what came next was we went to Shibuya and Shinjuku. We didn't really have anything in particular that we really wanted to do here, I'll be honest. It was kind of just a thing of, we want to go here just to say we did it. So we went there, and unfortunately we chose the most miserable day imaginable. Like even Hachiko seems sad right here. Look at the state of the place, like the rain coming down. It was pouring all day. However, we did do the scramble crossing, although we didn't get any pictures of it because it was both crammed and rainy, so it wouldn't have made for a good picture anyway. But this was a pretty good day for us. One of my friends had a specific side quest he was engaged upon. He had wanted to go ahead and he was looking for a specific CD for his father. A specific CD that apparently was only released in Japan, even though I don't know if the band is American or English. I know nothing about the band. I'm not good with music. But the band was called Deep Purple, and apparently his dad was like a very big super fan, had almost all of their CDs, but it turns out that this one CD was only released in Japan. So he was trying to get that. Oh, what was that fun? Speaking of being back, I was actually working on a fighting game in Scratch and Major Trouble. Oh, you put me in a game? Oh my gosh. I'd love to see that sometime. Oh, thank you. That's really fun. Thank you so much. I'd love to see that. So yeah, we were in Shibuya, and the good news was we found it. We found the CD he wanted, literally in like the first shop we checked. So I was like, heck yeah, excellent. Then we went into Mandarake, and we found. Well, I didn't buy this, though I would have loved to. I kind of wish I did, but I don't regret not buying it. Big Zam. There's a very large Zam. Actually not even that expensive for how big it is, but like, I wasn't, at this time, I was unsure if I was going to be able to fit this in my bag. I can now say in hindsight with absolute certainty, if I had bought this, I would definitely have been able to fit this in my bag. But it's fine. I don't know where I'd have put it if I had bought it, to be fair. But that wasn't the only thing we found in Mandarake. I was looking around Mandarake and I said to myself, let's have a look at their card section. I was still kind of hoping maybe I could find like a nice high rarity Kisa kill. But as I said to my friends, I mean, if I find a third copy of Frog the Jam, I'm not going to buy it. And lo and behold, there he is. We found him. We found the third copy of Frog the Jam. Double the price of the other ones, but I will say this one was in significantly better condition. Like, this one is... It's not quite... I wouldn't say mint, but it's pretty darn good. Oh my gosh, Zajali, thank you for the raid! Thank you so much! Welcome in, raiders! I'm Helm-Chan, the perfectly normal robot maid. I just got back from Japan a week ago, and I'm just doing a little bit of show and tell from our trip. I'll give you a shout, of course. Hope your stream went well. I did fun with whatever it was you were up to. And Bailey, my hello to you as well. We're getting near the end of the trip, but lovely to see you. Well, robot, yeah, I'm a perfectly normal robot maid. Lovely to meet you all. Hope you're doing well. I was just expressing how while in Japan, I had been on a quest to acquire a full playset of Frog the Jam, and we found our third copy in Mandarake. Your friendship, thank you! Thank you so much! Lovely to meet you, I hope you're doing well, and I hope that whatever you're up to with your streams are doing, I hope you had a fun time with it. Thank you for entrusting your community over to me. If you're to go and rest, I totally understand, but thank you so much, I really appreciate the big raid. Biscuits, thank you for the follow as well, I appreciate it so much. After getting 3 Frog the Jam, finally I have them all. Well, so here's the thing about that. I don't have them all. I am actually missing a printing. Oh, Reno Jimmy, thank you for the follow as well. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Lovely to have you here. So, I am missing one printing of Frog the Jam. We do not count, Slime Toad. Don't count that. But I couldn't help but when I got back take this picture. Behold, the council will decide your fate. So what we have here is 3 playsets of Frog the Jam. We have the American McDonald's Common, which is actually the only printing, I believe, where he is called Frog the Jam. Next, we have the Japanese ultra rare printing from the premium pack, aka the pack with Exodia in, where people literally rioted. And finally, we have the one that stands out the most, the newest printing that came out I think this came out literally like 3 days after my birthday. It's a sign. Thank you, John Konami. It has not gone unnoticed. This is the secret rare printing of the modern reprinting of the premium pack. And the funny part is only 3 of these cards are even legal for me to play. But it doesn't matter. It brings me joy, and that's what matters. If you guys order a Frog Jam, you can summon Helm. True. There is one I am lacking. So again, we do not accept Slime Toad in this house. Slime Toad is forbidden. However, as I said, there is one Japanese printing of Frog Jam that I am lacking, which is the Japanese common printing. In the Japanese, I think it was like their tournament pack 13, Frog Jam has a common, i.e. non-hollow printing. That is the only one I am lacking at this point. Again, excluding Slime Toad printings, because I don't know how they messed up so badly that they got the name wrong. But yeah, so the Frog Jam collection ever grows. We're back to Japan now. So, this was the point now where the limiters were being removed on my spending. Because I said to myself, okay, I haven't bought that much. At this point in the holiday, I've bought the Pokemon plushies, the sleeves. I haven't bought that much. I can go a bit more crazy. We went crazy. The wallet is coming out. Exactly. So, on the... Was it this day or was it the... Hold on. Let me check my... I made notes. Okay. So, after Shibuya Shinjuku, the next day, we went to... Well, the last 2 days were basically Akiba, but the first... or the penultimate day, I should say, was not entirely Akiba, because we found out that there was a small museum near, like, walking distance of our hotel, that was all about, oh gosh, hold on. Give me a moment here. I need to Google this because I'm going to butcher the name if I don't. Okay, it was a museum dedicated to the Japanese artist Katsushika Hokusai. I definitely butchered the hell out of that name. I apologize. To those unfamiliar, you definitely know this guy's work. You might not know his name, but you definitely know his work because he did this picture. You definitely know this picture. If you know one piece of Japanese art, it is this picture right here. And yeah, there was an entire little museum all about this guy's life's work. Absolutely fascinating. Like, the way this image is done, you may have heard this is done like woodblock painting. I did not understand what that meant. And one of the things they showed was what each of the layers of the woodblock that made this up looked like. Unfortunately, you couldn't take any pictures inside it, unfortunately. So I don't have a picture of that. But man, absolutely fascinating stuff. Like, I can't do justice to how cool and interesting it was beyond just saying, like, man, it was really cool and really interesting. There's so many good pieces by Hokusai. I'm heading to Boston at some point this year. There's a museum over there with some of his art as well as prints for sale. I think they maybe even mentioned that actually at the museum, but yeah, it was really just fascinating to see. One thing I did get a chuckle out of, actually, they had the museum wasn't very big, like, I'd say maybe the size of, like, I don't know, maybe like 4 houses put together, if I had to put a number to it. Not particularly large. But they had a, part of the exhibit was a recreation of where Hokusai lived with his daughter. And apparently, it was messy as hell. Like, the guy and his daughter just had a really messy room, and apparently they just got on fine with that. Like, that's just how they worked. I'm just like, wow, literally like me, for real, for real. As I said before, I may be a maid, but cleaning is my job, not my hobby. If I'm off the clock, I am not doing any more cleaning than I have to. I have a few miscellaneous things as well before we go into the real big stuff. We found a little supermarket nearby where we bought some stuff. And just random things like suddenly, Chloe jump scare. just saw these snacks, like, oh, what are these? I will buy these, sure. They're literally just like cornflakes covered in chocolate. They're nothing like amazing, but just the fact that, oh, just Hollow Live on packaging in regular shops with normies. That's a thing over there, sure, why not? But I want to make a special shout out to this. These candies here, specifically the ones on the left. I have no idea what these are. I don't know what you would search for these. I guess this is the name here, which I think this says Patchy Ball Ramune. I have no idea what Patchy means, but keep these away from me. I could eat like several bags of these in one sitting. Like, they are really good. I don't know how to describe them. They're kind of like fizzy, chalky candies with bits of popping candy in them, but they are really good. Like, these are dangerously good. Some kind of soda fizzy candy. Yeah, really good stuff. I could sit and eat these by the truckload. I still have 2 bags downstairs. I bought like 3 bags to bring back with me because I was just like, oh wait, this is really good. So now we're into the big stretch. The last 2 days. So the last 2 days, after going to the Hokusai Museum, we went to Akiba, and the final day was Akiba. And I was actually kind of a bit, not stressed, that's not the word I'm looking for here. I was at this point kind of realizing, I haven't spent that much money. I've got like quite a lot of my money left. And that's not a bad thing. Like, I did come with more money than I thought I needed, with the full intent of not potentially spending it all. Like, I was fully okay with the idea that maybe I'd bring like a third of the money back, end up paying the idiot tax to reconvert it back into pounds and just deal with that. I was pretty prepared for that. I also had a lot of room in my suitcase at this point. Like, I had half a suitcase, no, more than half a suitcase. I had like 2 half suitcases full of space, and I'm like, I don't want to buy, I need to buy something. I want to buy something. It wasn't like I wasn't looking to spend money for the sake of spending money. That wasn't really it. But it was this realization that I had been holding myself back the entire holiday. You know, I said to myself, you know, I'm not going to spend too much at the start. I'll spend it near the end. The end is here, and I still haven't spent that much. So here's where the big purchases came in. Starting off, well, this is not a big purchase, but it's spurred one on. I love Metabots, and this is a very normal game about playing Metabots. There's nothing at all unusual about this game at all. No reason at all why I bought this besides the fact it is Metabots. It is entirely because this game is Metabots that I bought it, and for no reason aside from that. And you should definitely not Google Metabots Girls Mission, because it is a perfectly normal Metabots game with nothing unusual about it whatsoever. Unfortunately, the Nintendo 3DS is the only Nintendo handheld that is region-locked. It is the only Nintendo handheld ever to be region-locked. Game Boy, not region-locked. Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, not region-locked. DS, not region-locked. Nintendo Switch, not region-locked. For some reason, completely unbeknownst to me, the 3DS, and only the 3DS, is the only one that is region-locked. Timothy Omega, thank you for the follow, I really appreciate it. Welcome in, hope you have a good evening. So, what do I do in this situation? I want the game. I can't read Japanese. I ain't stopping me from playing the game. But the fact that I don't have a Japanese 3DS does stop me from playing the game, right? No, I just bought a 3DS. I just bought a pre-owned. I actually didn't get a picture of this. Hold on. Where is it? I forgot to take a picture of this because it's not really like anything too exciting. But yeah, I just bought a Japanese 3DS pre-owned. Specifically a new 3DS LL, what they call the XL. It's in lime color. It was pre-owned. You would never know it was pre-owned to see it. Like, it said pre-owned, and like on the condition label it said, oh, damage to the body. I can't find it. Like, I literally cannot find the damage. I don't know where the damage is. This thing is basically pristine. Why is Metabee with anime schoolgirls? Hey Nefos, this is a game I bought. This is Metabot Girls Mission. It's a very normal Metabot game. And incredibly normal. If the 3DS is modded, you can install custom patches to translate it. Yes, the problem is I have heard the stories about how easy it is to hack your 3DS, and I love the meme about it. The problem is I have no confidence in myself, and I have quite a lot of stuff on my 3DS that would be impossible to replace at this point, like downloaded games and the like. So I'm not going to risk doing that to my actual 3DS because I do not trust myself. I don't care how easy it is. I will find a way to fuck it up, frankly. But I have heard the stories, yes. And it is a very cool looking 3DS. You are right, Zordon. It's a very cool colour. So that was like a fairly pricey purchase, but that wasn't the big ones. There were 2 more large purchases we made. And for this one, I did not take pictures of these. I have them literally off to the side here. I'm looking at them right now. But I can't, what's the word? I can't get a good picture of them because I haven't got them set up properly yet. So you're gonna have to make do with stock footage, stock pictures of them. That's fine. The first one is my Fate waifu. It's a tiny image. I have a small shrine dedicated to Scarha from Fate, which I actually largely accumulated during my last trip to Japan. And I told myself that I didn't need any more Scarha figures, because I already have, like, about 10, I think, something like that. I have a lot of Scarha figures, okay? I'm very normal about Scarha. Leave me alone. But I saw this one, and I'm like, oh, why did you have to be here? This was pre-owned. It didn't come in a box. But it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love her dress. I just love Scarha. She just looks so good in absolutely everything. Like, I'm not even being weird about it. MSG Cookie, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Thank you. I'm not even being weird about it, right? I am very normal about it. Scarha is just genuinely, like, in my opinion, like, one of the prettiest anime girls. She just looks great in everything. So I couldn't resist myself. I had to get this one. And you know what? I don't regret it at all. I haven't worked out where exactly I'm going to put her yet, but that might be like the least of my issues right now. Because you see, I bought some other things that I haven't got images of. I bought some Nendoroids. I've got like, I don't really do Nendoroids as a general rule. Like, I don't just buy Nendoroids of everything, but I've kind of just sort of fallen into collecting Nendoroids of specifically Hololive. I don't know, I just think the Hololive designs look really good in Nendoroid form and just lend themselves really well to the design. So I've got Gura, I've got Peko, I've got Marine, I've got Callie, slightly awkward one. I got this one a while back. I have Rushia, which I don't quite know what to make of that anymore. And while we were out in Japan, I managed to pick up Kanata, Laplace, and Best Girl Noelle. And it was then that limiter removal was well and truly paid. Because in the shop when I bought the Noelle Nendoroid, it was a shop that was literally like a VTuber shop. It was like 3 or 4 stories, and literally it was just VTuber stuff, right? And I'm not gonna lie, it makes me think I'd love to see some of my friends, like I'd love to see Yomi in a shop like that one day. That'd be amazing. But it was here that the madness gripped me. It was here that I took stock of my money and I was like, I've still got a decent amount left. And I had this moment. Have you ever been at like the supermarket and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna get like a basket, a hand basket. Because I don't need much. I'm just gonna get a hand basket. That way I won't be tempted to buy a lot of stuff. I'll just get a few bits. And then you get like halfway through the shopping trip and somewhere along the line, it's gone from, I'll carry a basket so that I don't buy too much. And it's somehow twisted into, how much can I fit in the basket? That was me. That was me with my cases and with my money. And well, let's stop beating around the bush, shall we? Oh no, there's nothing fail about that was coming up, Timothy, I can assure you, because here was where the madness gripped me. This one is in box. This one is sealed. I've said before that I love Noelle, Giovanni Noelle from High Life. Well, I couldn't resist. I saw this figure, and I'm just like, that is such a nice figure. I have no idea where I'm going to put this. I have no idea where this will be displayed. I have no idea if this will even fit in my case. But you know what? That's a problem for Helm-Chan tomorrow to work out. I literally said that to my friend. I said, you know what? I have no idea how I'm getting this home. I'll figure that out later. And this was my final purchase of the holiday. This is a large figure, by the way. Like, the box for this is about, like, probably about a foot tall and a foot wide and about half a foot deep. It is a big box. It is a nice figure. And I realized this is actually the single most expensive figure I've ever bought. If we discount model kits, we discount, like my Neo Xeon, for example, model kits. This is the most expensive figure I've ever bought, but man, it's a nice figure. I still haven't taken it out of the box, because again, I don't know where I'm putting her yet, frankly, but that's a problem for later to work out. Bikini buzzed your circuit. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I am not immune to the allure of Big D Knight's GF. And with that, well, that kind of brought the holiday to a close. At that point, that was our last day in Akiba. We did a whole day in Akiba, got those last minute things, went back to the hotel, and we just decided, well, let's get packed up, and that was it. One of the really nice things, though, is the hotel had a service that they called it the airport limousine, which I'm not sure why it was called the limousine, but it's basically just a bus that takes you straight to the airport. Very convenient, so we didn't have to even worry about dealing with the trays on the way back. And from there on, that was it. We're back in England, and oh boy, we're back in England. Is it too late to go back, do you think? Do you think we can maybe just like hop on the plane, like they probably won't notice, right? Nah, but jokes aside, Japan really was honestly a wonderful experience. Like, I mean, I knew it would be. You know, it's not a shock that it was a wonderful experience, but all I can say is if you're thinking like you'd love to go to Japan, if you think you'd like it, you definitely will. And if you don't speak English like me, yes, if you don't speak English like me, I'm famous for my inability to speak English, as demonstrated by that statement. If you don't speak Japanese at all, if you're in Tokyo, you'll be fine. Again, we do not speak Japanese at all. No trouble at all with it. It was just such a great experience. Everything was so clean. It's the small things as well, right? The silly things that you don't think about when you're there, that you realize when you get back how it's different. Like the fact that the train stations don't smell of piss. The fact that there's not trash everywhere. The fact that there are vending machines that haven't been like kicked in by random YOLOs. All these things that, again, this is why we can't have nice things. I miss the trains. Yes, the trains were amazing, yeah. Like, it's the silly things with the trains as well, right? Like, don't get me wrong, but as much as, like, I dunk on England, our trains aren't bad. Like, they're certainly better than American trains from what I've heard of it. But it's the silly things about the Japanese trains that I miss. Things like them telling you what side of the train the doors are going to open on. Things like when you're on the train, not only does it show you what the stops coming up are, it gives you a rough estimate of how long you're going to be waiting to get there. It's these small silly things that are just like, why aren't we doing this? Like, this would cost you nothing to implement. Why are we're not doing it this way? I'm not going to act like everything in Japan is like, objectively better. I mean, Japanese websites by and large look like they come out of the 1990s, but there's just so many things that I wish that I could just like shove into the face of influential people and be like, look look at this. This is how we should be doing this. I don't know. But either way, it was just a wonderful trip, and funnily enough, my biggest complaint about the whole trip is the fact that I completely ruined my sleep schedule afterwards, and I am still recovering to this day. Like, it's 2:30 now, and I'm getting pretty darn tired. That's way too early for me to be getting pretty darn tired. I've got to say though, thank you guys all for being here, because honestly, this stream tonight has definitely helped me keep going. There was a good chance if I wasn't streaming tonight that I probably would have crashed at 12:30. So we might be wrapping up soonish, but this has definitely helped to fix the sleep schedule, so I appreciate you guys. Seeing if there's anything else I want to share picture-wise, but I think we're more or less everything. I think I've shared about everything there really was to share. A quick scroll through my folder now. If you guys have any questions of anything, of course, I'll be happy to answer to the best of my ability, but yeah, looking at the photo album, that largely looks like it, I think. So yeah, that was how we ended the trip. As all trips should end. With a nice pair of booba. Any questions? Okay, what is the next Tier 1 Yu-Gi-Oh deck and why is it Earth Machine? Well, from what I understand, the next Tier 1 Yu-Gi-Oh deck is Snake Eye Fiendsmith, apparently. I haven't read into Fiendsmith and what it does, but everyone seems to be convinced it's going to be the next big shake-up, so yippee, question mark? What is the antiderivative of the function E to the power of X with respect to X? Well, that would just be N, wouldn't it? N times... Be N times X, I guess. I think. I don't know. I'm not good at math. That's why I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Easy small weapon is too generic, it can make easy Beatrice. The funny thing is, everyone's losing their mind because of, okay, everyone's really excited for the new card, the, the small version of, Underworld Goddess. They're all losing their mind because she happens to be a light fiend. That's literally it, because, the Fiendsmith stuff requires light fiends. But, you know who else is a light fiend? Just saying. Just saying. Oh my god, yes, I love key skill. I would die for Evil Twin key skill. This light fiend is going to go so hard in Fiendsmith, and it's going to be the best thing ever. Over 9k gem just waiting for you, Bell on Master Duel. Have we still not got you, Bell? Why are they sitting on that for so long? It is crazy that we've gotten new Bell in the TCG so much before, Master. That's wild. Huh. Bizarre. I am not up to date on Master Duel. I know they had some big updates. I have basically not played it for the past 3 weeks because I basically only play it with you guys these days, and that's fine. If anything, only playing it on stream means I don't get burnt out and don't get as fed up with it. So, speaking of which, of course, we will be back on Master Duel on Saturday. I know that today is normally our Master Duel days. We normally do Master Duel on Thursdays. But I knew that I was probably not going to be in good shape on Tuesday. And I wanted our first stream back to be, talking about the trip. It had to be, really, So that's why we've pushed Yu-Gi-Oh! To Saturday, but we'll probably bring it back to Thursday next week, in all likelihood. Get back to business as usual, or what passes for it. Everyone's talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Me confused, but not as long as everyone's happy. I get just fun, and I appreciate your patience with it. It is a monstrously complicated card game, and I don't blame anyone for not having an interest or not wanting to get into it, because if you said to me that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a terrible card game, I'd be like, yeah. You're not entirely wrong. But I kind of love that it's a hot mess. That's kind of part of the appeal to me. Alrighty, guys. Well, I've had a blast tonight. It's been a pleasure to be here, but I am getting a bit EP, and I don't want to force myself too much. And we've kind of covered everything I wanted to cover, really, I think. I think we've gone over the whole trip and we've shared everything. So, we're not going to wrap up just yet, but we can go ahead and get back to our main screen. So, please keep your arms, legs, and other body parts secure the closing doors. I'll meet you by the chatting screen in just a moment. There we go. Me hearing some other person talking about wanting to try Yu-Gi-Oh! After years because they like slower card games. Yeah, that is the wrong card game for them. I don't know what I would recommend to someone that likes slower card games, but it definitely would not be Yu-Gi-Oh! It's literally the opposite of a slow card game, I think. It is kind of funny how, like, you have the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's like, like the older format that everyone kind of remembers in air quotes. Where it's like, oh, I miss the days of set one pass, etc., etc. And it's like, those days never really existed, let's be honest. Like, Playground Yu-Gi-Oh! Was not ever a thing. Oh, I just read the music overlapping. Let's fix that, there we go. Yeah, Playground Yu-Gi-Oh! Was not ever a thing. When we played Yu-Gi-Oh! As children, we played it with a pile of whatever cards we pulled out of boosters, and we did half the rules wrong, and we were probably also cheating. I mean, I was definitely cheating. I don't know if everyone else was, but I was definitely cheating. You didn't get files until years after 5 days. I forget who said this, but someone once said, I think it was probably in an NBT Twitter thread, probably. Someone once said that Yu-Gi-Oh! There was no reason to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Up until like Synchros or XZs got added, because they were basically just worse Magic. I don't have an argument against that, frankly. I think early Yu-Gi-Oh! Does not have any of the things that make Yu-Gi-Oh! What it is, like, doesn't make it unique. So I actually kind of agree with that standpoint. I think modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not for everyone, absolutely. But at the same time, that's fine if it's not for you. If you come to me and said, I've tried Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it's a terrible card game, I'd be like, yeah, fair enough. It's okay. My school Yu-Gi-Oh! Wasn't a game, it was football stickers for nerds. Correct! That is also what it was. Yes, when we were all kids, no one knew what cards did. No one knew power levels. I remember very clearly, I traded for a copy of was it Great White? Yeah, Great White. I traded for a copy of Great White because I thought he looked cool. And he's not very good. He's like fine. He's like a 1600 beta, but like, this is in a format with large in. Just better beta, Why would you ever play him? And it's Tina Gates, right? It sure does. Especially on Pendulum Monsters. I know I've said this before. I know I've hit you guys with this before, but my favorite example, I think, at this point of Yu-Gi-Oh's bullshit and fuckery is Pendulum Monsters. Specifically, what type of card is a Pendulum Monster? Why is it in the Pendulum Zone? It's a spell, right? Well, what kind of spell? It's not a normal spell because it doesn't go to the graveyard after use. It's clearly not a quick play spell. It's obviously not a field spell because it's not in the field spell zone. It's not a equipped spell because it's not equipped to a monster. So clearly it must be a continuous spell, right? No, they are not. Pendulum Monsters are not any kind of spell card. They are just, quote, a spell card. If you had a card that says target a continuous spell on the field and destroy it, you could not use that card to target a Pendulum Monster that is in the scale zone. It is so dumb and is like the perfect emblem of why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dumb and hilarious. Sunny, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. Welcome in. Have a good evening. Yeah, I love it. It's so stupid. Oh, there we go. Took a moment to go through. Silly sound alerts. I could have called it a pendulum spell. There's so many things I could have done, and it's I moan about it, but I do love it. I think it's really funny. It's one of my favorite things with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is I think more than any other game, any other hobby for that matter, there are so many things with Yu-Gi-Oh! That are so fun to tell people about because it sounds like you're fucking with them. Like, trying to explain the damage sets is just the ramblings of a psychopath. Alright, I'm going to activate this effect to increase the attack value of my monster. Okay, well, I'll activate this effect to negate that. Well, you see, you can't activate that because you see the card you activated negates effects and not activations, so you can't activate it during the damage step. Oh, can I activate anything else during the damage step? Yes, you can activate cards that would modulate attack values. Oh, okay. Is there anything else you can do? You can activate cards that negate activation, but not effects. Also, cards that specifically say they activate in the damage step. Are you kidding me? No, that's correct. I'd like to make it that great effect. Sorry, end of damage step. Yeah, it's so funny, like... I'm imagining trying to go back in time and explain to my younger self how Gauze works and how Gauze interacts with the damage step. It's so stupid and I love it. It really is just... I live for these ridiculous interactions and bizarre fringe cases. Even slash especially when they're things that would never come up in actual gameplay, you know? Like just finding these weird corner cases of what happened in this situation with this unplayable card using with this unplayable card against this card that no one's ever heard of. And it was like, Helga, why are you asking this? And I don't have a good answer for them. My answer is, it's funny to me. That's all I have. That's my only answer. They don't actually playtest the cards for releasing them, let alone balancing them. So here's the thing, right? They definitely playtest them, but allow me to give you the secret about every game ever. Every game developer, every game designer sucks at their own game. It's just facts. You will never be as good at your game as the people that play it. And the reason for that is because as the designer, you have it in your head that this card, this game, this card, whatever, this mechanic should be played in a certain way, you know? So let's use a different example. Let's not even take Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's say like Final Fantasy 14, for example. Like, the developers know what the optimal rotation is. Or so they think. There was this very funny period in FF14 with regards to the Black Mage class. So the Black Mage class is fairly straightforward in its rotation. The long and short of it is you cast a bunch of fire spells to burn all your MP, then you cast a bunch of ice spells to regen your MP, rinse and repeat. This is a gross oversimplification. Black Mage mains, I know it's more than that, don't get mad at me. I'm simplifying, for example. However, there was a brief period where Square Enix messed up the numbers in such a way that it was actually optimal to just spam one spell called Paradox. And that was basically all you did. But there's more to it than that, but rather than actually go through the effort of doing the rotation properly, you just spammed Paradox and it was just good enough. Because here's the thing about when you're designing your game. You have these ideas in your head about how it's played. You have it in your head like, okay, players will clearly realize this combos into this works with this, etc., etc. But the players, they're not about following the rules. They're not here to respect the content. They're not here to follow the playbook. They're here to win. They're here to do the best job they can and to stomp the opponent, whether that's players or NPCs, into the absolute dirt. They will find a way to break your game. They will find combos you never imagined. And the best thing you can do at that point is try to rein them in before they get out of hand. I mean, to be fair with Yu-Gi-Oh! In particular, the game's got like 1 billion cards at this point. You can't reasonably expect them to find every interaction. Though, I'm gonna be real. I feel like it didn't take a genius to work out transaction rollback is probably a problem card, but what do I know? I'm just a silly little robot made here, spitting nonsense. I don't work with Konami, I don't know John Konami in person, so alas, I will just have to ramble into the wind. Finale, guys. I think I'm going to wrap up for tonight. I am definitely starting to flag a little bit. We've gone for like nearly 3 hours, and I'm starting to get a bit eepy. But I've had a great time tonight. I've had a lot of fun sharing all my experiences with you guys, and I hope you guys have been, well, I I'm sure you guys have been enjoying yourself here. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. Let's do a little bit shilling low, shall we? For those of you who are new here, for my new guests tonight, we do have a Discord. If you're not in it, if you don't want to join, of course, there's no pressure. But if you enjoy what I do here and you'd love to know when I'm going live, I always have a little bot there that will tell you when I'm going live. I always put a schedule up there first, and it's just the best way to keep informed. I try to be as active there as I can, but yeah. Yeah, if you're cool, you can join, exactly. Makes me think of reading a Street Fighter 2 and didn't realize combos existed. You've got to be grateful they didn't treat it as a bug and remove it, because otherwise fights would be very different. Exactly! That is a fantastic example, Takai. Yeah, the fact that combos were originally a bug. Exactly, yeah. There is a fine line between bugs and features sometimes. And the best ones are the times when you can't tell which is which. But yeah, we're going to wrap things up for tonight, guys. And I think we're going to be just a little bit selfish tonight. Because I normally like to raid out, but we're getting back into the flow of things. I'm getting very EP. I think we're going to have just a little wind down without a raid tonight. We'll get back to our usual raiding, of course, once we're back to things as usual. And next stream, we're going to be doing something Yu-Gi-Oh! But I think we just have a nice little power down tonight without a raid. So, thank you for streaming. Lovely to have you back. Oh, lovely to be back. Lovely to be back. Thank you guys all so much for your patience with my break. The other thing, of course, that did occupy me with my break was not only was I horrifically jet lagged, but Dawn Trail came out on Friday. I have finished Dawn Trail, thankfully. I managed to get that done last night, so we're all clear on the Dawn Trail front. So I'm not going to be sitting here like, oh god, I've got to do Dawn Trail, I've got to watch Dawn Trail. So we're all safe in that regard. But yeah, thank you all for being here, everyone. Have a wonderful night. We'll be back in it on Saturday, as I said. We'll be doing some Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. We'll be doing some viewer duels. So I have no new decks at all. We're going to be playing business as usual. Although some of you guys said you wanted me to go full anime protagonist and do summon chants and whatnot. And you know what? I may be just inclined to oblige you on that. It sounds like a lot of fun. So for now, everyone, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you all for being here. I'll hopefully see you all on Saturday, but if not, have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you whenever I see you next. Take care of yourselves. And as always, everyone, it's been a pleasure to serve you all.